What is going on, dudes and dudettes, gamers and gamettes, lads and lassies? Welcome back to another suspenseful episode of Games and Gamers. So, Games and Gamers 2024 is already here. We did Batman. I hated it.
I love Batman. I enjoyed that game a lot.
I hate
I
Batman.
am glad.
And we've decided to move away from Batman.
The previous season, my first game was Spider-Man, and so I was like, you know what? Let's go ahead. It was my first. Yeah, it was. I was like, let's go ahead and start off.
Yeah, it was your first game, damn it.
Yeah, I was like, was it? I was like, yeah, I think it was because I had so many hours in that game. I was like, let's do Batman now for my first game. So yep.
That means you cannot do Spider-Man 2 until 2025 because you get one superhero game a year.
No.
I like this rule.
No.
I like this rule that I set.
I do it only once a year. That way I'm not forcing you to play a whole bunch of superhero games because I know you dislike them. I don't want to force you to play games.
Okay, no, that's not true. That's not true at all. The two heroes you happen to pick are just heroes I hate how they operate.
You don't like the formula that is used for their game.
Saints Row says differently. I love the Saints Row games.
The formula you said is very repetitive.
It's
repetitive, so it's why it's staying away from those games. But I do want to try to play Spider-Man 2 this year.
It does get repetitive, but at least we'll use Saints Row as a prime example because it's very similar. It always adds a fun to it, and there's all sorts of stupid shit you can actually do. That's why the repetitiveness in there goes.
Also, you said you liked Spider-Man 2 more than Spider-Man 1, so that's another reason of why I do want to play it this year.
For the story. I'll give the gameplay one.
You said the gameplay was better as well. It's obviously, I imagine.
I'll give it. Yeah,
I imagine it's not going to be too much better than, but
whatever I said in my original review, I'll give it +1 on the original review upon initial playthrough.
Of Spider-Man 2 or of Spider-Man?
So let's say if I gave Spider-Man 1 4 on combat, I'll give this one a 5 in combat.
Got it. Awesome. Yeah. So again, I'm excited to play it.
So
I have this. This is the cool thing. This is my media. This is the coolest thing.
Right.
I love this.
You know what? I'll put you on screen for a minute.
I don't know if it's barely picked. I'll probably have to play it as I'm talking. I got this thing, and this is so cool. But also, this is from my girlfriend, and this is so cool. I love this so much. And it turns on. It actually works for a very long time. And it also plays sound as it's turning off. It's super cool.
Imagine that just turning on in the middle of the night.
Well, actually, I leave it on at night, but also it glows. It does the soft glow of on, off, on while it's charging. So it's super cool. I love this thing. I'm actually gonna leave. I mean, I don't think we're doing face. Let me be careful with that.
You almost knocked off
Vegito. I'm gonna have this back here. So if I'm ever streaming with face cam,
it just looks like a glowing fucking cube.
Excuse my glowing cube.
You can't tell any shape or form. It's just glowing gold back there. It's a glowstone
please excuse
block.
My glowing gold cube.
It's a glowstone block. That's actually what it is. You know what? It is your glowstone block. What's the media with you?
What's the media? I don't know if this counts as
everything counts here in Games and Gamers.
I got a job application.
That is not media, but that is very cool.
It's media because it's the only thing I've been working on. But yeah, literally,
it's just social media.
It's the only social thing I did. I've literally just had videos in the background while doing exercise, and that's it. And I've been playing this game. I literally played this yesterday.
So, Danger, I want you to do me a favor.
What's up, man?
You're gonna tell me no. 100%. You're gonna tell me no.
Okay.
If I make you a Games and Gamers shirt,
okay,
will you wear it to your work and promote us at work? So my media right now, while I'm talking about it, is a oh my god! I had 2.5 pounds of chicken wings. I am suffering. I legitimately had 2.5 pounds of wings for dinner.
Nice.
This is not a joke. But I got my hands. Yes, Danger. I bought another game.
Cool. This is every week, every 2 days.
My hands.
If it's 3 days and you don't tell me you got a new game, I'm gonna be like, yo, you okay, man? You good? Dude, what's wrong? Tell me about it. Tell me what's wrong.
fuck you. I
Well, I mean, I'm right.
I went to my game store and I got 2 Wii U games. I got Epic Mickey 2
Ooh.
and Zombie U on my Wii U.
Oh, okay. That one is cool because I do remember actually seeing that game for the first time. That game's a game I always saw on the Wii U shelf back when the Wii U was still new.
Which one?
But also, or it was around for a long time. The Zombie U, like every time you looked,
Yeah.
it was like Lego City Undercover, Zombie U, Mario 3D World, and then like just some of the other games. But Epic Mickey 2, dude, I played that so much on the Wii, like so much on the Wii. I played that game. I loved that game.
And
Oh my goodness! And one thing I remember. I swear I beat the game, but I can't remember how it ends. I think I don't like the ending of that game, unless I'm crazy and I somehow didn't beat it, even though I
I
played it
still
like
need to get
5
Epic
times.
Mickey 1. I haven't.
I never played Epic Mickey 1.
The only reason
I
I
never
got this
played it.
one is because they had it's a beginning of the year sales, buy one get one 50% off, and I looked at the Wii U selection. Honestly, I could have gone for other consoles, but these ones are like 10, $15. It's like, the things I want are like $40, so I'm not gonna
Yeah.
do that. So I
I
literally
mean, it's more to your game collection.
I
And
opted.
now you actually have a Nintendo thing, like you have the Wii U, which can play Wii and Wii U. So that's why I think the Wii U is a cool console. It's cool. A lot of Wii U games are cool. I will say, I enjoyed way more Wii games than I did Wii U games, but it can play both, so it's cool.
Anyway, also to my collection is I got another rare one.
Ooh.
It's part of, I think it's 3 or 4. It's not many. This is one. It's an RPG that is kind of known, kind of not. You probably don't. If you know about it, I'll be surprised. But I got my hands on the first part of Xenosaga.
I don't think I've heard of it. I might have, but I've probably maybe heard of it once or twice. It sounds familiar, but I know so many things with Xeno
It's a
and Saga.
Namco RPG that's set in
Oh,
the
it's
far
okay. Then
different
I
future.
might have heard of it because it's Namco. I might have heard
It's
of
a
it.
unique little art style that looks really.
I would have to see what the game looks like. Like I would have to see what the game looks like to confirm. Okay, no, I have not. No, I have
Alrighty,
not seen
so
that.
I now own Xenosaga Episode 1, Der Wildermacht. So I'm going to be probably playing that soon, which I'm excited about that. I love my video game collection.
Nice.
I also found Resident Evil Outbreak. It's a shame we can't play it together. We
That does
can, but fuck, I have to mod a PS2, and you have to buy and mod a PS2, and I don't want to do that.
Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
So-
I haven't even worked yet. Let's not do that.
And you can buy a PS2 just to mod it.
Dude, I'm so excited because once I actually do start like working there, I'm not gonna say where. Once I start working there, it'll
Once
be
you start
super
working as your
cool.
drug dealer job?
No, stop saying that. Stop spreading misinformation about me.
Hey,
Stop
I
it.
can't. Hey, here's the thing. If I don't know it's true, how can it be misinformation? It's an educated. It's an educated guess.
I told you. You were one of the only like 5 people online.
Danger.
I told it.
I know people that work there, and you know what? This is an educated guess based on the people I know that work there.
I'm going to fight you and lose, but I'm gonna fight you.
You got me. You got me. I'm about to say you're gonna lose.
I'm gonna lose, but I'll fight you. Anyway, yeah, but I'm excited, and so I can actually start helping with both my channel and our channel. I can start helping.
You can buy
That's so
video
cool.
games.
I can
pay
buy-
me back for the trip to your awful, awful city.
No.
You said you would.
Yeah. No, I will. I'm gonna.
Just buy me one
Yeah.
video game of my choice when I go down and visit. We'll call it even.
Dude, that'd be cool. Also, I should hopefully be
figure.
driving. I should be driving by the time you get here because we're.
fucking hated
Yeah.
driving there.
Here's the funny thing. The funniest thing happened. My orientation for work and my first day of driving school are on the same day.
Oh, God.
So we're gonna have to cancel the driving school and delay it by a day. We're gonna have to cancel the first day. I'm not even going in on the first. And I didn't even know this was a thing. Apparently this happened, and maybe I was asleep or something. But apparently this has been a thing that was gonna happen for a while, and I just don't remember. But yeah, so I'm gonna be taking driving school soon, and at the orientation. Also, I don't even start working until February, so I literally have the rest of January after orientation to learn to drive.
I got another game. I didn't buy this. It hasn't been. I've had it for a while, but Run Like Hell. I found this one again
Why do I feel like I've heard of that
because I've
before?
talked about it before.
Oh, okay.
It's like Alien
But yeah,
Isolation, but you can
I'm
defend
excited.
yourself.
April should be fun. April should be very,
It
very fun.
sure should be.
It should be. I'm hoping, man. I'm hoping as much as you are.
Tomorrow is payday, and I'm really fighting the urge to buy the collector's edition of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. The game's getting pre-ordered tomorrow. Either way.
Either way, it is.
I'm.
Don't buy.
But
are you talking about like the? Are you talking about the $90 one?
No.
You're not talking about the like $300+ one, right? No.
Imagine how cool it would be to have Sephiroth, a 19-inch Sephiroth statue, sitting behind me.
Okay, will you do me a favor if you do get it? Will you do me a favor? Will you not spend that much money at all for the next month? I mean, like in total. Like after you buy 3 games, you're done. Like.
Well, here's the thing, though. It's probably not going to happen this paycheck. I'm probably going to go with the $90 version, the deluxe edition.
You should. Here's the thing.
Because I also have to buy propane because it's starting to get cold here in Oklahoma.
Yeah, like save. Like if you want, don't buy it right now. Like save. Like put some money aside for it because it doesn't come out till February.
I know.
So like
but here's the thing. I want to buy a physical copy, and I found out my GameStop is idiotic, and they can run out of physical copies to pre-order.
Oh.
I tried to do it for Crisis Core. That's why it's digital. I wanted to get a physical copy of Crisis Core Reunion. I walk in, hey, do you have a PS4 version? Nah, man. We ran out. But how do you run out of pre-orders? Well, there's only so many that get made. That's not how that fucking works. You pre-order it. And here's the thing. I came on the game day. They had a fucking copy on the shelf.
Wow.
I have not bought a game from them except for my nephew for Christmas since. And that was that was over a year ago.
Yeah, no. But I mean, here's the thing. This would be the one time that I feel like it would be something because you are literally the Final Fantasy guy. Like you are the Square Enix Final Fantasy guy. And also, I even said on the stream, like I saw like Square Enix. I was like, Hayden recommended this game to me, and he is the Square Enix guy. Like how I love Nintendo so much, and I do love other games, but I feel like we go core down to the game brand, like the developers. I love so much of Nintendo, the worlds they have, the characters they have. I love Nintendo. Even though I love a lot of characters more above Nintendo, the brand I love Nintendo more. So I was like, you're like that with Square Enix. And I said there was one other company you mentioned that could have been above them. You mentioned there was one, but I mean, you said they're also not around anymore.
Yeah,
but
no,
Square.
Telltale.
Okay, but Square Enix is definitely your number one. So I was like, you're the Square Enix guy. So if you got this would this be your first like collector's edition first thing? I feel like when are you gonna get this chance again? This is the first time you'd be...
When would I get this chance again? When Final Fantasy VII Reimagined, or whatever the final fucking installment of it is.
Yeah, and however long that is, because that might be like another 3-4 years.
Stayed away. Danger. I don't know if you want to watch it or not, but January, this month, starting from the 19th to February 1st, Final Fantasy VII Advent Children movie will be playing in theaters. What we're going to do today is we're going to go all the way back from we've had a lot of exciting games recently. We've had a lot of exciting games. Parasite Eve, Resident Evil, Alien Isolation, Batman, Spider-Man, all this stuff. We have not had a chill game. We've not just had a good old, I think it's snowing outside, a good old slice of life game. So we are going back all the way to the era of 2015 when Life is Strange, Square Enix's game, made by like, what's Danger, developer. I can't remember developer.
I can't remember either. I swear it's in my head. I can't remember.
Google it. You're on a computer.
I'm Googling. But you just keep talking. I'll get it.
They made their own... Like, because interactives at this point were starting to become a little bigger, because Telltale started doing stuff. Walking Dead by Telltale got a lot of traction. All these narratives are getting a lot of traction. So Square Enix decided to have one of their little smaller companies.
Don't Nod Entertainment.
But they had some of their smaller companies, like smaller subsidiaries, doing some of the stuff with them. So they asked one of their subsidiaries, Don't Nod, to make them an interactive game. And Life is Strange hit the field. All right, so we kind of just nodded off for a little bit and talking our own thing in the Don't Nods. But yeah, so Square Enix said Don't Nod. Make us a interactive game. So don't Life is Strange hit the world. Life is Strange is an interactive game that handles. I'll warn this right now. I'm gonna give this. It's gonna be our first ever games and gamers
it needs a warning.
Warning. I need Hayden.
Warning.
Future Hayden. Caution noises. Go. Thank you, Future Hayden. It's just gonna be me going caution, 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 caution.
Warning.
Adult topics. This game. I will warn this right now. Going in. Danger doesn't know this. This game has some very dark topics when it comes down. Life is Strange contains multiple dark moments, consisting of drug abuse on some characters, possible rape for others, suicide, and depression for other characters in there too. This game is not for the faint of heart. It has a lot of dark topics with some of the characters, as this is a slice of life, simulating life outside of the sci-fi aspect of it. So I repeat, this game contains drug abuse, characters getting drugs, and then horrible things being done to them for one specific character in the game. Depression and suicide, causing these characters to either try and kill themselves or being asked to kill themselves based on the state they are in. So I warn you, if you do not want to listen to this, click off now. Now that all that evil darkness is out of the way.
Okay, I can hear it now.
Now all that evil darkness is out of the way. We're gonna
also, like I'm just saying it again because I'm just mentioning again real quick for a purpose. I did not hear any of that because we're recording these in sections. There's 5 parts to this game. Each part, after we play it, we stop. We're going to record for about like 30, 40 minutes or so. This is going to be the longest because it's the start, but everyone should be much shorter. So much of it can be cut out.
Yep.
We're just having fun.
Yeah, like I said,
but
this game follows a lot of dark topics. So if you are
literally we're going to record this about the first part, and we're not going to talk about the next part until we play it and then talk about it. Because there's so much decision making in this game, and we're just trying something new. This was Hayden's idea. So we're just trying something new, see if it works out for this, and we made it to the future if we think it works for games like these. And if it doesn't, then we just don't do it again. But we'll figure it out. Yes. I think it's a good idea for games like this in particular.
So then we'll also try it for other games too. We're just going to see how it goes. But a other game. Like I said, be wary. This game has dark topics. That you've been warned 3 times.
I've only played part 1.
So
and I'm already
Life is Strange. The game starts off as you character Max Caulfield wakes up in a storm. Horrible storm in the middle of the woods, not far from a lighthouse. Walking through this game looks okay.
It looks like Monster House. If you ever seen the movie Monster House, it looks like that.
Sir, you weren't even alive when Monster House came out. I was.
It looks like Monster House.
It looks worse than Monster House. Do you remember? Here's what it looks like. Do you remember the scary Godmother?
The cutscenes look cool.
Do you
remember the
scary Godmother movies that used to air on Cartoon Network for Halloween? God, that is a fucking pull that not everybody is going to know.
I don't know that.
So, but the game looks okay. It suffers the same issue that A Plague Tale had. That the world looks fine. The people look
off.
Mediocre.
Actually,
best.
At times the world looks horrible.
Oh no, it's I don't know why. This is one of those few games I wish they'd do a remake.
The deer looks like polygons. It's a weird take on a game. I will say this right now. Can I tell you something? I don't know if this is just me, but like at times Max, like I don't know what it is, just Max looks out of place compared. I guess just because they probably put more work into her. She looks like just if you took a Kingdom Hearts character and like she kind of stands out. I don't know what it is.
That's more of Chloe.
No,
because Chloe has the blue hair and all that stuff.
I don't know what it is. Either like looking like Sora or like a Final Fantasy character. I don't know. It's just like it very much out of every character that looks off and weird. Max just looks more detailed and clearly stands out to the others, and it just looks like it just seems weird.
So anyway, storm's going on, you make your way to the lighthouse, and as you look off the lighthouse cliff, you see a massive, and I mean like category 12 fucking hurricane.
Yeah. Like it was huge.
You see something hits the lighthouse, something goes falling at her, and she wakes up. She is in class. Max Caulfield is I forgot to look this up if Blackwell is a high school or a college.
It's a college. It's a college campus.
Okay.
There's dorm rooms. She moved to go thing for a while, then came back to go to college here. So really good at college to where
if it's college or not because of the there are like like high schools that are like that. But if
Yes,
since
I'm very certain it was college. She moved for 5 years, came back, went to a Blackwell College because it's a really good college, and also one of her favorite photographers is a teacher there.
oh
So if
yeah,
I am
Mr.
correct,
Jefferson.
if I'm correct, oh yeah,
So anyway, and that also takes away one of my things, one of my warnings, which makes me feel a hell of a lot better. Because I assumed they were college. I knew Max was 18. I didn't know the character age of all the characters.
I didn't know anyone in there. It doesn't make me feel like it's still very uncomfortable,
Welcome
regardless.
to life, bitch!
But it's where
So
it's so
she
it's
wakes
so
up.
bad.
She wakes up in this little astute little class learn about photography. Mr. Jefferson, her teacher, is talking about all the wonders of the world, talking about how selfies were invented, the daguerrean process, daguerreotypes, not stereotypes, daguerreotypes. I laugh at that every time. And Max decides to, as she looks through all this stuff, you can look around the room, you see shit going on. Somebody throws a paper ball at somebody. All this conversation goes on. Max looks through her stuff. You look through a little diary stuff that gives details of what's happened in the past. You learn that she was in Arcadia Bay growing up after her best friend's dad. After something happened with her best friend, Max moved away to Seattle. She then came back to here. And is trying to figure out what she just kind of wants to do because, she's only been there for maybe a month at this point, right around a month. She's trying to figure stuff out. She picks up her little camera. She has a fucking Polaroid camera. Takes a picture. Mr. Jefferson's like, shush, shush, shush. Max took a selfie. Max, tell me about that selfie. How did it start? And she gets cut off. You get your first choice. It's a choice-based game. And it's literally very insignificant as like, oh, I don't know. Oh, you're asking me? Those are actually the two choices. She can't answer. Somebody's like, oh, it's the Daguerrean process played by Louis Daguerre in the 1800s. It's bullshit. Bell rings, and you have the chance to kind of start moving around after the class ends. You can talk to one of the people. You talk to a girl named Kate, and you get the feeling these two are friends. You go along the room, and you also hear about a Everyday Heroes contest. You take a picture, submit it. If you win, you get to go to, I think, Washington?
You get to go somewhere.
You get to go somewhere big because your art will be put in a museum gallery. So Mr. Jefferson is wanting everybody to submit, and so you have to talk to him before you leave the classroom. And he's like, Max, you have a gift. Take a picture. Give it to me. And then you start to actually go explore the game. You leave the room, and then you have a fun little moment. I like this a little bit as you walk through the hallway, because Max puts in her headphones, and she just starts listening to all you American girls walking down the hallway. You can interact. You can see her. You can look at other characters, and she gives little tidbits of information. Oh, he's a jock. Oh, she's a nerd. She knows all this stuff. She'd go get well with Warren. I can't believe those two are having sex with each other. All that stuff. She makes her way to the bathroom, just kind of decompress. Max is a little bit of an introvert. In case you couldn't tell, Danger, she's a little bit of an introvert.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out what this problem was.
Did you get an HP support assistant too? Because I just got an HP support assistant update. It's like, hey, this needs to be fixed.
No, I'm trying to make sure that my thing is not in trouble. I don't have any warnings. Okay, I don't see it. I forgot. I was like, oh yeah, I played a song that I'm pretty sure is copyrighted.
Oh,
Let me see, it's fine.
But all it does is thank YouTube because I did it again. It's like, hey.
Okay, but I did this on Twitch, so I'm double checking that Twitch is fine.
I feel like Twitch is a lot nicer. I don't know. Anyway, off topic. Back to game. So you walk through these hallways, make your way to the bathroom. Max wants to decompress. And as you're in the bathroom, she's just kind of talking to herself, like, okay, get a hold of yourself. Everything's fine. And you see a bright blue butterfly fly in the window. She's like, you know what? This will be my chance. I'm going to take this picture. You only live, YOLO. That old thing is YOLO. You only live once. She goes over there and snaps a picture of this bright blue butterfly. And as she does, a boy comes into the girl's bathroom. Oh, my God, issues. And he's sitting there talking to himself. He's like, okay, everything's cool. Everything will be fine. Then you see another girl come in, and those two start talking with each other. It's like, hey, you owe me shit. Where's my money? Where's all this shit? Like, they have beef with each other. As they chat, the boy starts getting anxious. It's chaotic, and he pulls out a gun. A little bit more goes on. And he's talking to her. I was like, hey, I'll control you like my family controls the police, all this shit. And and then he ends up shooting her. As he shoots her, Max, who's listening to this whole thing, sticks out her hand and rewinds time, introducing this game's mechanic of rewind to alter the story, which I think is the game, as you go later on, is handled really well. She goes back, wakes up again, back in the classroom immediately after her little nap, after her dream nap sequence. And you go through that whole section again, because she's reliving it all. She tries to get out of the classroom because she doesn't understand what's going on. And this game then allows you to, because it has the Daguerrean process, takes a selfie, what the fuck, hey Max, what are you doing? You hear somebody else, Victoria, say, oh, it's the Daguerrean process. And this is where the dialogue comes with the rewind, because this game allows you to change your answers to give it the best possible outcome to the situation. So you can answer. So she takes Victoria's answer and then answers it herself, making her seem smarter. This game does a lot of that. You redo conversations 2, 3, 4 times to get the right possible outcome, which is great. So, a right possible outcome. You sound super smart. You talk to Jefferson. He gives you an extension on your picture by doing some of his things like, oh, you only live once, got to live in the moment, stuff like that. They leave, or she leaves, makes her way to the bathroom, and everything starts going down again. Blue hair girl's getting waved at is getting a gun waved in her face by crazy dude. Max sees fire alarm, grabs hammer, bashes hammer. This also goes with the rewind thing, because if you pick up an object in the rewind, you can keep said object and use it. So, bashes thing, blue hair girl pushes boy to the ground, and they run outside. Fire alarm's going off, so everybody runs. Make your way outside. You get stopped by a chief of we'll call him chief of police. He's a little head of security at Blackwell.
He's the head of security. He's not an officer. He doesn't work for the
military.
Police.
He believes he's chief of police.
Yeah, he acts like he's the big guy commander, like he's in a war zone.
He was in a war zone.
He's acting like he still is.
To him, he probably is. So you talk to him, you meet the principal, and he's like, hey, Max, what the hell is going on? Why are you looking so crazy? You look pale. Tell me what's going on. And then this is one of those good choices in the game, because this game has, if you say something, it has consequences. This is one of those moments that you have a consequence. You can either tell principal that Nathan Prescott, who was the dude with the gun, has a gun in the school. Or you can keep it to yourself and come off as an arrogant little asshole who refuses to tell him what he wants to know. I'm imagining Danger and I are probably going to go different choices on some of these. Danger, what'd you pick?
At first, I picked to tell. I picked to tell, got that information, rewinded to see what answer I'd get without telling, and I was like, no, I'm going to rewind and tell. So I went ahead and went with the tell option.
So.
I did go with not tell, but I went ahead and went with the tell, so at least the information's out there. Like, it's aware that it's out there. So even down the line, even if it's a situation of probably no one believes it or he still has control of everything, people are aware or someone's aware that he did that. And it's not even entirely unbelievable. So
and I chose the other route of keeping it quiet, to where he's like, okay, just shut the fuck up pretty much, kid. You're not telling me what I want to know. I'll tell your parents you're just being a rude little asshole, which pissed me off. She doesn't have to tell you the information. That's the thing that pisses me off, is she doesn't want to tell you. She doesn't have to tell you. She's not
especially so now you can see if she does tell you, you're just going to take it and just kind of ignore it or whatnot. But yeah, I went with it, and yeah, he even asked the person. He even called the kid in afterwards.
What if you leave? Please come to the office.
Yeah.
So then after that, you go outside, and outside is very minuscule in it. It's just a little bit of information, get a little bit more world building, which is kind of cool. You can go talk to characters, learn a little bit about them, see portfolios, get your picture drawn, play with a drone, see a skater boy get his nuts hit or just fall flat on his face.
But also, there's one kid you could talk to, and you can let him know that you saw the person with the gun earlier. You can let them know that. And so I decided, my thought process was, and I saw the option of like not, but I think that my option is I already told the principal. Now if I tell a student, then the information's going around, so it's just known. Even if it becomes a situation later to where I need to protect myself, the information is out there that, hey, he tried to use a gun. He was waving a gun around.
Yep.
So at least people can be more aware that he is dangerous. So
All right.
that was my thought process of going into this.
That's fair. And so while you're exploring around, you get a text from your best buddy, Warren, who's like, hey, Max, you got my flash drive with all my movies? I kind of want to watch some of them again and add some other movies. And so Max responds, yeah, it's in my dorm. Let me go get it for you. And you get to go to you start going to the dorms. As you make your way to the dorms, you actually are outside the dorms and you see the big old group of mean girls sitting out in front. It's like, oh, go fuck yourselfie. Which I fucking love. This I've actually you may hate me for this, but I've actually used that line in life before.
Of course you have.
So then at this point is one of those puzzle moments. So this game has rewind, and you can also manipulate the world to fit the way you want it to fit. So you can rewind time a bit to make it where, sprinklers are getting turned on. You can turn the sprinklers up to 10 so they get wet. One of the custodians is painting something. You can finagle with his bucket to make the paint fall and spill all over Victoria. It's stuff like that. Later on, you can even save a girl from getting hit in the head with a football. It's small stuff like that. You use the world around you and adapt to it and allow you to progress further. So, go all that stuff. You get Victoria, you spray Victoria with water, get her covered with paint. And then you have another option of, do you want to be an asshole and take a picture of her and insult her like she does you? Or do you want to be friendly and try and console her? What'd you pick?
I picked the try to be friendly one.
Damn it. I did too.
Yeah, I was like, you're already an enemy as is. Let me try to see if there's any redemption with this character. Just try. Seems like it's going to be a little hard to redeem this person than it originally seemed, but we'll see.
We have to wait.
You never know.
So,
that's what I was saying. Maybe this could be the first thing implemented to help later down the. Who knows? So I went ahead with that route. I didn't even see what the other route was. I didn't bother.
And this is where the thing is, you have this action will have consequences. This game has a lot of butterfly effect. This thing will lead to something later on.
And it lets you know that this can do something. Do you want to continue this or do you not?
And it's
not
the most terrifying thing on your first playthrough.
And here's the it's like this. It's like no matter what I do, it has a consequence. There's even you could leave, not even touch it. You can do one thing. It's even worse. It's even worse when it's a multiple choice, but also you could do nothing with it. You have 3 choices. Do one thing, do another, do nothing. And if it has a consequence, it's the consequence of your action, but is that a bad thing? Because it could be a good thing. You did something and a good thing happens. Like, is it a bad consequence? Or is it better of more than one evil? So it really has you thinking. Also, one thing this game does, which I love but hate at the same time, no matter what option you pick, it doubts the decision. Mm-hmm. So it puts it in your head of, oh, you picked this one, oh, I should have done the other. And if you pick the other, it's, oh, I should have done the other. And it messes with your head. It gives you a reason why to think the other one is better. So what I do is I do both. I know it's trying to do that to me. I step back and I look at the conclusions. I don't look at the information why the other one's better. I'm looking on what I think is better, and I pick based off that whatever I think is better. Also, I think of every decision I made previously and how will the rest help me out? How will the rest of the decisions help me out based on what I did before? And even the simpler ones is like what comments you leave with. Even though I have the more information, it's good to get information out of people because information does save. Every conversation you have, it saves. But what am I going to leave? What conversation am I going to... Yeah, I now know all the interactions. What conversation am I going to leave with this person? So I try to be careful depending on what was the last thing I said to this person of the multiple choice.
Very fair, very fair. So you make your way inside and you see walking down the dorms. You hear a little bit of commotion going on. You kind of ignore it. You walk into your room, realize, oh no, dorm, little fucking flash drive is gone. We got to go get it from our friend. Walk down the hallway, you see her friend has locked her in her room because, she was sexting her boyfriend. Friend in dorm room was sexting girlfriend who locked her in room. You go to, because you realize, so you talk to them, realize, hey, Victoria said this. Okay, go to Victoria's room, figure out the information, lied, come show her. That's all that, and everything's
Go
okay.
go back to that room real quick. Go back to that room real quick.
I refuse to go back to that room real quick. So we're gonna
I'm
go.
gonna go. I'm gonna go. No, 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 no. We're gonna go back to that room real quick, and we're gonna talk about how cool the plasma TV is in the room, and we're
We
gonna talk about how cool
we
of an
Danger.
amazing
I hate
movie.
to tell you, I don't have to have you on Games and Gamers
You you
anymore.
you don't, but I'm gonna let you know.
Is this worth it, Danger?
Max's favorite Final Fantasy film is Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within. This is canon. It's canon. It is on there to where how Max said, I don't care what people say about the CGI. It looks cool, you know. Which, by the way, we should watch this on our plasma screen TV. We should when you come over in April, we should watch it. We should watch it.
I'm gonna rip your Christmas present I have up. I'm gonna show you what it is, and then I'm gonna rip it up live.
Come on over.
So anyway, after that horrible thing, you go figure out. She gets room saved, you get friends saved, and you get the flash drive back. In this room, this is where one of those dark things happens that you can learn a bit. Is her friend had a pregnancy test in the room that was positive. You can look at it. And she gets upset that you look at it. I completely understand. That's private information. She shouldn't have left it out like she did. But
also, dude, I kept like, all right, let me do this. Let me do this. I kept looking at it and I was like, nah. Nah. All right, I'm gonna leave. Okay, let me see. I'm sure I can rewind. Let me see.
So you pick it up.
I wanted to ignore it.
You pick it up,
but I am glad that I did try to look at it though. I am because of the other information there is.
This game is very good at giving like, small details make you like the characters or just like them.
Yeah, so, you need to look around. You need to.
This unlike Silent Hill, is a game you look at everything.
I literally looked around at everything and I still missed things. Mm-hmm. I still missed a bunch of stuff, even with me looking around more. Like, literally, I looked everywhere and I tried to be careful with what the order of decisions I made were.
Yep. I got wing in my teeth.
Yikes.
Oh, that'll be there for the next 3 days because I'm out of dental floss. So, anyway, you get the flash drive. You learn that she was pregnant. She unfortunately had an abortion, which is sad. So, yeah, you get the flash drive. You go back to the room. You get the flash drive, and you get a text from Warren, who's like, "Hey, I'm outside. Come meet me and give me my flash drive." So you can go out and grab the flash drive. We'll give him the flash drive. You meet him outside. Warren is your typical nerdy dude. Just imagine Scott Pilgrim. Just imagine Scott Pilgrim. This is what he is. He's Scott fucking Pilgrim. Chat with him for a little bit. Hand over the flash drive. He has a new car. That's awful. He's very much making it clear that he wants to take Max out on a date in this car. He's like, hey, we can go check out this movie at the drive-in in my car. I'll drive, I'll pay. She kind of just ignores it. Hey, he also, the funniest fucking part, he's trying to start the conversation with a hug, and he got friend-zoned so bad. Oh, that was so fucking funny.
It was just it's so funny. I was like, oh, it's like... you're just trying to be nice. You're trying, but dude. And then he starts talking about like, yeah, we could go to the movies. Like he's really insistent. He's so insistent on going on like we should go do something. It's like, oh, buddy, stop. Like it's very clear. There's no
possibility at this point that maybe you like her.
Very clearly, like you don't even get a choice to even maybe. You don't even get that as an option. You can hear him out, but you still decline it at the end. Like no matter what it's like no matter what, you're literally controlling what Max wants to do, and no option is I've seen 3 realities, and you're not getting it with her in any of them, dude.
He pours out his poor little heart just to get K and walk
off. Sad, but
anyway, so you give Warren the flash drive after this hilarious.
You gotta know when it ain't gonna work, bro. I just gotta let you know. You gotta know.
Danger, I hate to tell you, this game came out almost 10 years ago. He's not learning anything. So, You talk to him for a little bit. He's doing all this shit. And then you see Nathan Prescott looking like a fucking druggie, walking out the building, hair poofed up. He's like walking shoulders back, head forward, like he's just a fucking bird. It's like, hey, are you Max Caulfield? One of Jefferson's photo groupies, right? What the fuck you doing sneaking around in the girls' bathroom? And I was like, bitch, you're a dude in the girls' bathroom. What the fuck are you doing in the girls' bathroom? I'm allowed to be in the girls' bathroom.
This guy clearly does not care at all. Legitimately dangerous. Also, another thing, the prince, I'll tell you right now, whenever someone comes up to you, let's say you're just a higher up, right? Let's say someone goes to you and tells you that they accused someone of a gun. Maybe don't tell the person who's being accused of waving around a gun, the person that told them that. Maybe don't do that, because then that person probably isn't going to be around if they do, or if they are waving around a gun. Maybe don't do that. This
game's handled very poorly in some of the things.
Realistically.
Yeah, it's handled very realistically.
Very realistically.
Because they talk about how the fact that Prescott's own the Arcadia Bay and they just pay off whatever the fuck they want. So
yeah, literally they just pay off the police, they pay off the principal, they just own, literally, in a literal sense, own everything.
Yeah, so he's sitting there bowing all up to her. He's like, hey, the fuck are you doing? Don't sneak around the bathroom. I'm the man here. You're the bitch. I rule this school. Fuck you, Max Caulfield. And that's literally how it kind of goes. Warren steps in, gets his head butted, and the next thing you know, around the corner, as everything goes on, you see the girl with the blue hair almost hit Max. She hops up, and it's like,
Max? Chloe?
No way.
You hop in the truck with Chloe, and drive off as Warren gets his fucking ass beat. Oh, poor Warren.
Poor Warren.
Oh my god. So
respectful man.
The respectful man gets his ass beat by a fucking man-child. He is Fred from Velma.
He's respectful. Not a strong man, not a smart man, but respectful. So
so as they're driving down the road, Max and Chloe are catching up. They haven't seen each other in 5 years. Chloe has a little bit of resentment in herself because her friend has been literally probably maybe 20 minutes away and has never even come to visit. I understand entirely. And they're just sitting there chatting. It's like, hey, Max, why the fuck didn't you say hello? Well, I wanted to. Just never figured out how. I wanted to get situated. Pisses her off no matter what. And so they decide, after all this little conversation, that they're going to attempt to be friends again, because they were best friends. They literally pretty much grew up together. You'll learn about their friendship more as you play Danger.
Mm-hmm.
But they have a good little friendship with each other. And so they go back to Chloe's house. And Max is like, wow, I haven't been here since everything happened, since I moved. I got the fucking hiccups all of a sudden. Fuck.
Ugh. It's gonna be super funny. We record this, and then it's like 20 minutes in, or however long this ends up being. It's just and so anyway, hey, we're back, and so we got it just back to normal.
I can tell you, we're about at an hour right now.
Oh, so much of this could be cut out. So much of it could be cut out.
So anyway, they go into the house, and they're just sitting there chatting with each other. Chloe is like explaining things. She does weed. She does all this stuff. She wants Max to find a music disc so they can listen to music like the old times. Max wants to get her camera fixed because it got broken in the mishap with almost getting ran over by Chloe.
Did we talk about the section you can choose once you're leaving the dorm? Did we talk about that?
We did not. I forgot about that.
We did not. I was about to say. I was like, we did the big part with the principal.
Yeah, I forgot.
And then the next
I
one's
forgot
with...
about that because I talked about what happened after that. And my brain said yeah, so thank you. So anyway, after you leave the dorm, before you meet Warren. So anyway, before you meet Warren, thank you. Like, so thank you for reminding me of this because I thought I did it. But you see David, Chief and Officer David harassing
security.
Chief and officer.
I'm going to correct you every time. He does not deserve the title officer. I'm going to correct you every time.
And
I do not like this character.
Danger.
Yes?
Hold off on your hate. You have 4 episodes left.
Okay.
So Chief and Officer David
security
is harassing Kate. We don't know kind of what, but you harass and you have the option to take a photo and to give it to the principal or tell him to fuck off. I, being the good man and knowing what I know, decided to help Kate and tell him to fuck off. Danger did the exact same thing.
Okay, at first I took a picture because I wanted to see what would happen. I want to see what would happen because my theory, what my brain was saying to go ahead and take a picture of this person because this person is clearly dangerous. But then I also realized that already Kate's a person who's which by the way, you interact with her 2 times. You interact with her in the class, which you can ask her if which I did ask of the 2. Like, I asked both, but I made sure to say, like, do you want to go get some tea later? Like, ask them, do you want to go do something? Which also, if you check the messages, was already planned beforehand. This wasn't just random. This was planned beforehand. And she was like, no, I don't feel like it. And then you see her later, and you can ask her, like, what's wrong, or what are you doing, I think. So I went ahead with the option of, are you okay? Then we continued. Also, apparently, you're able to do something inside, which I didn't know. Someone wrote something on her, I'm not going to repeat what it said, but somebody wrote something on her board, and I didn't know you can erase it because every other one wasn't anything in particular. He was like, you really, really need to look out for everything because I didn't know you could interact with this. I didn't know because every other one was just search it, or look at it. It wasn't anything else. It was just look. But apparently you could erase this board, I guess, to increase your self-esteem or not let it be lowered anymore. I decided to help Kate because already this game is very much dark, and this person's clearly not okay. So I went ahead and helped her out instead, and she seemed much happier after, and she also texted later. Yep. So I went ahead and went with the helpful interaction because I'd rather have that one. I'd rather do that one and try to have this person, instead of having evidence behind a case that could eventually later be a case, and it would rather actually help this person to hopefully we'll move along and things will get better.
Yep. So, anyway.
And I feel like that's the right decision, especially with this game clearly having very dark things. I don't want to risk it getting darker, so.
I hate to tell you, Danger.
Is this like one of the hardest things?
You've already made a major mistake.
And it's so easy. I can go fix it. No, I'm not going to do that. It was my mistake. I'm going to let it be.
I don't know how it's going to be because I've never been able to do it wrong. I just cannot for the life of me do it wrong. I've played this game 3 separate times.
You know what? It's probably like a life system. Like if you mess up more than like once or twice,
we're gonna have to wait and see.
Well, here's the thing. On the experiment, we'll see because I did miss the thing, but I think the interaction.
I am the control group. You are the wild group.
I'm the interaction. We'll figure out what happens because I feel like I did the better paths in comparison to what the other options were. So I feel like I haven't screwed up too much yet. Anyway, we can see if I fix it. But I probably don't have any more left to make mistakes now. So we'll see. I don't know how part 2 is going to play out.
So after that, you make it to Chloe's house. You look around the house. You see some of the old things. You get music playing. You see Chloe smoke a toke because they use some of the most atrocious, just awful, heinous vocabulary that I hate. I hate so damn much. It's not even funny.
I do gotta tell you something funny later, though. I do gotta tell you something hilarious.
Are you serial, Danger?
Yeah.
Are you serial with me? Are you being serial with me?
I am being serial with you, dude.
I fucking hate it.
Dude, I heard that and my brain was like, okay, I'm good. Are you serial? I'm just like, okay. This is clearly someone. This is me. Someone took something to say something wrong, did it as a bit, and now they just do it now.
This is 2015 to 18-year-olds.
Yeah.
This is how they spoke.
Hey, so what's your New Year's revolution?
Okay, you know what? That's a slap.
Yeah. Yeah? Are you adding more to the list of things?
Danger slaps 1.
Danger slaps. All right. You know what?
Actually, Danger slaps 3.
2. Why 3? Why is there a third one?
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
So, anyway, in the house with Chloe, you do all the stuff. You get reminisce about the past. Get music playing, and while Chloe
Chloe.
while Chloe starts to veg out, you go to get this tools to fix your camera. Go look out the house. You start reminiscing about things like, man, I remember the swing set. Oh, this couch. Oh, that wine stain. I remember that wine stain. We tried to hide it for a week. Oh, those were dark times.
They tried to clean it. They tried to clean it for a week. They were scrubbing it, and
They
they
tried
were
to
forced
hide
to
it
scrub
at first, and then they tried to. It's something you don't know because it's a later thing. But anyway, then you make your way into the garage. The garage has one of those little you have to get a little set of tiny screwdrivers off the washing machine. How do you get it off the washing machine? Oh, you gotta turn it on. Well, oh no, it falls underneath this little cabinet you can't reach. Well, oh well. Rewind time, put a little piece of cardboard underneath, turn it all on, boop, 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 pull out, and get your little things. In here, Danger, how thoroughly did you explore the garage?
I thoroughed a lot.
Oh, so
I
you
can
know
tell you
what's
everything.
happened?
I have figured out several things that have happened.
So as you explore this garage,
There's
big
three
thing.
things.
There's a big one that I'm wanting to talk about.
Three big things.
There are.
I
But there's
think.
there are three big ones. Don't get me wrong. But
I think I found all three.
tell me what they are.
There is one of the guns are missing.
Yep.
One of the guns are missing. There is a monitor of the entire house.
Yep.
And there's
House is under surveillance.
and there's a file with pictures of Kate in it.
And other students, but it's focused on Kate.
Yeah, other students, but it's focused on Kate. Like Kate is the literally has like marker highlighter around her and whatnot. Like she knows something.
He knows something.
Also, in the desk is where you find out that it is the security guard. Almost said officer because of you. The security guard is the stepdad that literally I can't even say what she called him because we're on YouTube. You can't say it.
You
But yeah.
have the
Oh
big
yeah.
name.
Also, you find out he's ex-military. You also find out he's ex-military and that he is the stepfather that was like after Chloe's father died. The mother was just desperate to get someone back into the relationship. She wanted to be with someone. And so out of desperation, she got a guy who is horrible. And it's a very sad... This is another very sad thing. Even in part 1, it is incredibly sad. We haven't even built on any of what that is yet. It's horrible.
God, I know so much. I cannot wait for later episodes.
It's so... Everything in part 1... Like, we can continue, but there's so much in part 1 that's horrible.
I can't wait for part 4.
I can wait. Do you want to delay this episode till later this year? It's so...
Nope, we're doing it. It's only 12
Yep.
hours. We're already a fifth of the way through.
Do I want to... Probably not. I was about to say, maybe I could stream again. I was like, nah. It's already 9:30. I'm not going to do it tonight.
Yeah. All of them are about 2 hours anyway, so.
Yeah, it's like 2.5 hours. And so it's like...
About 2. I did, whenever I did it, I was about an hour and a half. Hour 40. And I still did a lot of exploring.
I'll see if I have...
I also know what I'm doing, so that also helps.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, I don't know if I'm going to... Because I might stream tonight, depending. We'll see.
Yeah. So, anyway.
It would help to get it done like that, but anyway.
Go to the room, you talk with Chloe, start working on the camera. Chloe gets up off her bed and is like, you know what, Max? My dad would have liked you to have this camera. He gave it to me. I'm not photogenic. I'm not photographic. And she gives Max the camera her deceased father gave her, which is a very sweet sentiment. Then she's like, you know what? This is a dark moment. Let's change up the jam. She turns on the music and she starts dancing on the bed. You have you can take a photo of her. Everything's happy, and then you hear a door thunk, and then you hear, "What the fuck, Chloe? What are you doing? Too loud!" Just gradually getting closer and closer until they're like, "Shit, David's here. Turn off the music. Find somewhere to hide." So, because he doesn't want strangers in his house. Which typically is not his house, but you're going to deal with that later. So you hide in the closet, and David comes in like all upset. He's like, why is the door closed? What, do you have a life in here? Do I smell weed? You have weed? Girl, why you have weed? And then you have the option to either let Chloe take the fall and blame for the weed, or Max takes the fall for the weed. Danger, what did you do?
Did you know that there is actually 4 options in there? I did not know this until later. There's 4 options in that room, and I had no idea about it. There is you can either reveal not like you can either reveal yourself, but if you reveal yourself, there's 3 options. I didn't have that, so I thought it was just reveal yourself and that's it. But apparently, I guess if you discovered the room more, there's other options because I checked that, at the very end of the game, it kind of recaps your options. I saw there was actually 2 more, but yes, I went ahead and went out of the room. But I didn't get any other of like the special options because I guess I was missing information or something.
That's what I did.
Yeah, I went ahead. Out of the 2 options, I went with leaving the room. And is it gonna probably hinder the thing with school? Yes, but also the prince already don't have evidence to back up the case against him, and also clearly the principal's gonna withhold information involving getting bad people away. So I already am kind of a villain anyway. So I'd rather just go ahead and full send.
Yep.
It's a corrupt thing. I don't want to go ahead and give into it. So
So
that's why I went ahead. And with revealing, but now Max got blamed for the weed.
The 420, the blazing, the Silverado, the blue diamond, the hatchback,
The green grass.
the tweed.
If it's very clear to anyone listening, we don't do weed. I don't think it's clear to anyone. We do not do weed.
You smoke weed. You don't do weed, Danger.
The further evidence backing up my point.
I think you smoke weed. I think it's considered smoking weed and not doing weed. I don't know. I'll have to message my people who do weed.
Yeah. That's got to be a T-shirt. We don't do weed. We don't do weed.
That's our first fucking merch. We don't do weed. Games and gamers. No. Here's our first shirt. Is it? Do we do weed or do we smoke weed?
Do weed or not do weed?
To weed or not to weed? This is the smoke.
No, it's got to be do weed.
So, anyway, after that, you chat with Chloe for a little bit more, and she's like, hey, Max, check out this fucking cool thing I have. And she's stolen David's gun. The gun that was missing in the garage.
Yeah. Yep.
Which, Max is like, hey, Chloe, be careful with that thing. You need to hella calm down. Let's go out somewhere.
It's not even loaded. Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah, at first it's like, I got something secret. It kind of sneaks forward. He. I'm like, you got a gun, don't you? That's immediately. You got a gun. And she points it straight at Max's face. I'm like, oh, okay, you're unhinged. Okay.
This is what you get for not. This is what you get for not taking the blame on the weed.
Yeah, I don't care if it's not. I did take the blame. That's why she revealed it.
No, that's why she's shooting. Is you weren't supposed. She told you don't come out of the closet, and now you came out of the closet. This is what you get for not listening to me.
He's what you get, yeah, dude. You don't point a gun at someone's face. I don't care if it's loaded or not. You don't point at someone.
Anyway, you escape. You escape. You hop out of the window and you go to the lighthouse. The lighthouse that you were at the beginning of the game in the dream sequence. You make your way to the top, see everything. And then, as you make your way to the top, you talk to Chloe for a little bit. You have another flashback You have another weird dream sequence. The exact same thing, but this time you are following a fawn up this little mountain, and you have to dodge, bob, and weave trees and rocks and logs that are just sat there for whatever fucking reason. I can't tell you why there's just a pile of logs outside of a lighthouse. But you make your way to the top, and you see that the tornado is still there. This hurricane. They classify it as a tornado. It comes from the ocean. It's technically a hurricane, but I will let it slide. And you look at a newspaper that's there and realize this is 4 days away. This tornado happens in 4 days. What the fuck happens for this tornado to happen? And so she comes back to the normal world and talks to Chloe. Is it Chloe? I need to tell you something. And as she does, this is the middle of the summer, by the way, it starts to snow in the middle of like fucking June.
It's the way of the order of things happened. It was she comes back, she's like, you blacked out, you were gone for a minute. It's like, I gotta tell you something important. I don't know what it is, but I'm able to rewind time. And then Chloe's like, you can't rewind time. This isn't a book or a video game. This isn't a.
I was trying to say that for part 2.
Well, I'm saying this now because it's in part 1.
I know,
And it's the order of things of like you have
it's
to
not a video game or an anime or anything. Like, she does say try
yeah.
to rewind time. I was trying to
Yeah,
make that as
and
fun
she's like it literally like there is a tornado coming. It's like, and again, it would be hurricane, but it is like what, like a tornado only comes like once every 20 years. Like 5 tornadoes, only 5 happen every like 20 years or something or less. Like there's not a tornado coming. It's like, no, it is. And then it started snowing. It's like snowing. It's like 80 degrees out here. But if it's not snowing because of winter, it's because a storm is coming. And then Chloe's like, Max, I need you to tell me everything.
That's the end of episode 1.
It's episode.
That's the end of episode 1, so leads into a fun little musical thing going. And then you also get to end the first episode. Danger like this part, because at the end of each episode you get to see the percentages of what people chose versus what they didn't choose.
Yeah, I think that's super cool. I don't know why when I went to like friends who played it, like it didn't show your progress, it only showed mine. Or like it didn't show friends, but then online it shows you the online numbers. Maybe there's not enough people who played it, so that because I literally only have one friend who played it.
Maybe because I haven't played it on the PS5, that could be the issue.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
And I've started the game over on the PS5. But since this thing is going to mean nothing to you guys, because we're about to just blip on the episode 2, but we're going to episode 2. So yeah, episode 2.
Yep.
All right, so going into episode 2 of Life is Strange. After our whole ordeal of the first one, where Max finds out she has her powers, you go to sleep and everything. You wake up the next morning, you hit a button, you wake her up an alarm. Max is like, man, I stink. I gotta go take a shower. So she's sitting there contemplating everything. You look around her room. You see that she is starting to look up like quantum physics, time travel, and all this stuff to kind of get an idea on how her powers actually work. So get her stuff, do whatever in the room. You can water her plant or not water her plant. You can do all this stuff. You get her shower stuff and go into the bathroom. As you walk out, you see people are awake. It's early in the morning, say 6, 7 o'clock. You see toilet paper getting thrown around. Ladies are just yelling at each other. Enter the bathroom. Kate's in front of the mirror. You talk to her, and she's not doing very good at all. You kind of start hearing about something's possibly happened involving her, because at this point we know she's depressed, we know something's happened, we don't know specifically what's happened. So now we kind of get a more of a vibe, and Kate's like, you know what, Godspeed, Max, you're a good person, thank you for always checking on me. She goes out and Max hops in the shower. As Max hops in the shower, yeah, okay, I do have it right in my head. See, yeah, while you're in the shower, Victoria and her little posse go in and start talking shit, and it's like, oh my god, did you see what Kate did last night? That video's spreading like wildfire. Apparently Kate had a little bit too much fun at one of the Vortex party. The Vortex is like the Black Whale Club, pretty much. It's like the Sigma Beta Phi stuff you see in college. It's a fraternity, pretty much, but it's for everybody. So Kate apparently, Kate's a good Christian girl. Like, that's one of her big things. You look around her room, you see a lot of Christian stuff, biblical. She got a little bit haywire and apparently started making out with like every dude that was at the party. That got recorded and now is being spread throughout the campus like wildfire. So they Victoria and her posse ride on the mirror, the link to go watch the video. You have the option, you get out of the shower, Max cleans it off. If you don't clean it off, we're going to have to fight. Danger here did clean it off, and I'm glad he did. He is here, by the way. He's just munching in the background.
Hello. Yep, I'm here. I'm just letting him talk. I'm taking advantage of him talking and just trying to quickly eat real quick. I'm here.
Alrighty, so let's see here. She also, before you take the shower, Kate's like, hey, Max, you have this book. Can I have it back, please, so I can finish it, so I can get some studying done? Yeah, sure. So anyway, get out of the shower, go get the book, and take it to Kate. Kate's room, you can tell looking at her room that it was once a happy-go-lucky room. It's supposed to be like probably with a lot of vibrant colors. She has the blinds covered. She has her bed and room are very unkempt. She has a pile of clothes and her bed has not been made. She has her mirror covered because she cannot look at herself.
For her standards, it was not clean because she's a very tidy person.
Yep.
She was, what we've heard from Max, a very tidy person.
Exactly. So Kate, this is more of a pigsty to her. Yeah. She has a little rabbit. You can take a picture of the little rabbit. So you give her book, you start talking to her, and Kate is very distressed. She's kind of talking about, Max, I don't know what to do. This video of me is spreading. What if my church sees it? You can look around the room, and these are where this game I say is good because you pay attention to details. You learn a lot about the world. Kate got a letter from her mother, like, I heard you did these very awful, heinous things. You are a disgrace to our family. And you get another look at another thing, and it's like, may God forgive you, child, and all this stuff. You could see a lot that her family is very disappointed in the action she's done, and from their point of view, I don't blame them, but I 100% blame them because they don't know what's going on. She said it's something later on, and she talks about she told her dad about it, and he's the only person who would actually believe anything that's happened. So she's not her family's not very supportive for the most part. So, talk to her. She starts explaining everything that's going on. She went to this party. She took a sip. That's what everybody assumes. She got really drunk. She got wasted. But she took a sip of whatever. Then she felt a sting. Shut up, phone. So anyway, she starts saying, like, yeah, I felt a sting, and then I started feeling really, really dizzy. Nathan said he was going to take me to the ER, and that's the last thing I remember is his voice in the background. She woke up outside of, I believe...
Her dorm.
Was it her dorm? I couldn't remember if it was her dorm or the bathroom.
She woke up outside of her dorm room, and while she didn't have any bruises, cuts, or anything, she said she felt gross.
Yeah.
It is very, 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 very scary situation.
Very much is, because there's no telling what actually happened to her.
Absolutely.
So she starts basically, and you start kind of realizing she probably got drugged by somebody in the party, presumably Nathan Prescott, because he's a bitch. But what were you about to say, Danger?
That also because we are also going off of the fact that we're also assuming that he drugged Chloe.
No, we know he drugged Chloe.
Yeah.
We know he drugs Chloe. That's something that I don't know if we talked about in episode 1. That's where a lot of their beef comes from. Is shut up, phone. That Chloe got drugged by him, and she happened to become sober and see him crawling at her, and he started doing all this shit, kicking at him.
And that's why it's super easy to believe Kate's story.
Yeah. So, as you talk to her a little more, she's like, Max, do I go to the police? What do I do? And then you have one of those very deep, like everything goes, whoa, moments. And this is a very important choice, which I didn't know. My co-host here picked, in my opinion, the wrong choice and stuck with it.
Yeah.
But you have the option of have Kate go to the police or wait and find evidence. Because and thinking on it, and you think at it, you look at it from an outside point of view, evidence makes a lot of sense in this place. Because unless you go to the police with evidence, since the Prescotts own the town, it'll be like, hey, he did this. Well, sorry, you got no proof. Help us. I don't disagree with the idea of it, but at the exact same time, you realize there's nothing's going to happen. You know for a fact nothing's going to happen, so you got to try and appease the person who needs the help. So anyway, you can go either route. If you tell her, wait for evidence, we got to find evidence, she's like, okay, you're just like everybody else, you don't believe me, fine, thanks, I guess we'll find evidence, and she gets very disgruntled. Or you tell her to go to the police, and she's like, okay, I'll go to the police, you can be my witness, we can get something taken care of. And Mac's like, hey, hold your horses, Kate, I want to help you. But I'm already in deep shit with Nathan, so I don't know if I want to be part of this. But I say definitely go to police and get something started. So, all that conversation's in. Kate feels really good. I say out of the two, 100% pick the choice of give it to the police because that makes her feel better.
Yeah, the reason I went with the and I was thinking about it, but the problem is the principal very clearly
is a bitch.
Took this, and it's like, oh, it's just an accusation. And now we also have a security guard who you, for some reason, keep calling an officer, which makes me wonder why you even picked this option. But he is clearly
the chief of security
spying on Kate. Yeah, he is very clearly spying on Kate, and something's going on. So clearly the two people are not having Kate's best interest in mind. Nathan also owns the police pretty much as his parent. Like, he doesn't, but his parents own it. They pay for it and everything. So it's like, we can do this assuming it's the right option, but then the problem is, like, she goes to her and nothing happens.
Yes.
Like, nothing happens at all. So I was like, wait up, let me find out. And as soon as I picked it up, I'm like, bro, I got to find evidence. I have to look, I have to be super observant and pay attention and talk to people. So, like, I don't know if you noticed, but after that, like, I was literally talking to everyone that episode.
Whenever I started watching, it was a little bit after that, I believe.
Yeah, I was literally, so you joined right after I made the decision?
I hopped in as you were in the diner.
Yeah, so I was going left and right, talking to people, just making sure, like, this, that, yeah. Like, I wanted to get as much information as I could.
So, another thing, talking on the diner, is this, I'll say this little bit kind of goes into it. You guys, as soon as the episode actually starts, you get a text from Chloe, who's like, hey, Max, get your butt to the diner. Mom will feed you. Two Whales Diner. So, after you do everything with Kate, clear up anything you want to do in the dorm, you leave the dorms to go to Two Whales Diner. You go out to the diner, and you can interact with people outside, get a little bit of the lore of the town, find a tourist, help her out a little bit, talk to a homeless lady who is like, hey, young lady, I've seen this place, and it ain't good. See some people that you're going to talk to later on in the series, and then you go inside the the diner. Go in the diner, you sit down, and Joyce is like, good old Maxine, look at you, you're such a young lady. What can I get you? And one of the most important choices in this game is you either get her an omelet or a Belgian waffle. Danger, what did you do?
Waffle.
You picked the wrong choice.
Waffle.
So, as you're sitting there eating your breakfast, you're talking to Joyce, and she's like, depending on which choice you took in the first one, is like, hey, David talked about there being a weed dealer in Chloe's room. That was you, wasn't it? Yeah. And so it goes on for a little bit of her talking like, man, I want you to be a good example for Chloe. But I know you weren't. I know you wouldn't do this. You were just covering for her, weren't you? Yeah, I was. A little bit more conversation comes, and they're talking on Chloe. Chloe comes barging in. It's like, hey, Ma, get me my usual. Max, how's it going? You two talking shit on me? And they sit down, and what they're doing right now is Chloe is wanting to test, and while Joyce goes on makes Chloe breakfast, they're trying to test out Max's ability, because Chloe is skeptical, understandably is skeptical. Like, if I told Danger, hey, Danger, I can see into the future. I can't rewind time, but I can see into the future, he would not believe me until I start talking nonsense. So, anyway, you go in the diner, you sit down in the diner, and Chloe's like, okay, Max, prove to me you have powers. I am going to tell you what you have in your pockets. So she pulls out whatever's in her pocket. She has like 87 cents, 86 cents. She has 7 cigarettes. She has a robot panda keychain, and she also has a parking ticket from 1034. Yes, these are actually what they all are, Danger. I don't know if you remember specifically, but that's actually what they all are.
Yeah.
So you rewind time. You use a lot of your rewind powers here. Rewind time. She puts it back in her pocket, and you're like, okay, you have 86 cents, a robot panda keychain, 7 cigarettes, and a parking ticket from 1034 from double parking. Anyway, she's in like, okay, that's cool, but I want to know more. And so do more. And Max is like, okay, I'm going to predict the future. So you watch the next events that happen in the place. The trucker drops his cup. Police officers gets a call, and his buddy leaves them. 2 high schoolers that are at the play, two high schoolers, Blackwell students, get in a fight with each other, and a cockroach crawls on a jukebox that's in there, causing it to go haywire. You rewind time, tell Chloe all this. You watch everything flow out in a really fun little sequence, because I like these Groundhog Day kind of things of just predicting the future. And the next thing you know, it's like, oh my god. You can control time. That's so cool. Which honestly is kind of cool. Danger, what would you do if you could do what Max can do?
I have no idea.
I would go rob a bank.
I would not.
Because, you know what? I'd rewind time. They'd never know. They'd never know. So anyway, don't do Batman. So after that, after you do all that, then Chloe's like, hey, let's go check out my secret lair. I got some fun stuff to do, to try out. And then you go to the junkyard. The junkyard's it's just a junkyard. It's a fun little area. And Chloe's sitting there drinking at like 8 in the morning, 9 in the morning. And she's like, all right, Max.
That's a bad idea.
I mean, she doesn't care. She smokes weed as soon as she wakes up. You don't know that yet. That's her first thing she actually does. As soon as she wakes up, she smokes weed. You'll find that out in episode 3. So, so she says, hey, Max, go find these bottles. Go find me 5 bottles. We'll do some target practice. So you walk around the junkyard, pick up the 5 bottles, see some things here and there. You see a little room, little box, like concrete house thing where Chloe and Rachel Amber did a lot of their fun hanging out with each other. There's a Rachel was here and Chloe was here. I chose not to interact with it. Danger interacted with it. Didn't you?
With what? The writing thing?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I was debating it. I was like, should I? I was like, I'll go ahead and do it and see what happens. Because I imagine the right thing would be is to walk away. I'm gonna write and see what happens.
You would be correct in that, sir.
I'll see what happens.
So. Okay. I forgot one thing. As soon as you leave the diner, as you're about to leave the diner, Max gets a phone call from Kate.
Yep.
And you have the option to deny it, which I don't know why you would, or accept it. So accept it.
When I tell you I accepted that immediately.
Yup.
No debate. I think the only reason I paused was to make sure I hit the right button.
Here's what I imagine: is you're sitting there and staring. You're staring at me, Hayden. I'm picking the right choice. Because every time Danger does anything, I make him second guess every choice he does. Because like, are you sure? Are you sure?
The game does that. I love that about the game. I love that about the game. It always makes you second guess.
Oh, just wait till we do like Telltale stuff. It gets even worse. You grab all the bottles, go bring it back to Chloe, and Chloe is like, okay, Max, Super Max, we're going to shoot, and we're not going to waste a single bullet. So you would then have a little bit of target practice with Chloe. She shoots and misses. You then correct her to like, oh, you go shoot to the right. Shoot up. Then she also you shoot a truck. You shoot off a rim. I made Danger do the explosion. I was very disappointed because he figured out very quickly that you can shoot a truck and it can bounce back and ricochet and hit you.
Oh no, I knew that immediately.
No, I know. I was disappointed that you did it and when you figured it out. And then as soon as you did it, you didn't even let it play through.
Yeah, no. I'm like, let me see if my as soon as I saw the bumper, I'm like, oh yeah, that's gonna hit one of us. I was like, let me not shoot that. I was like, screw it, I'll hit the bumper real quick. And as soon as it went off, I rewound. I was like,
you should have, because here's exactly how it would have run.
Jesus, I shot myself! Ugh, I shot myself! Back up, back up! Stupid gun. Hold on, Chloe. I wonder how we'll get around this.
So anyway, junkyard, do everything, shoot off everything, and then they are sitting chilling with each other, just contemplating life. Then Chloe's sitting there waving the gun around. You can take a picture of Chloe with a gun, and then you hear a, well, if it isn't Thelma and Louise, or is it Bonnie and Clyde? And you see the next character in the game, Frank. Frank is sitting there talking and all this stuff. You also take the gun from Chloe. I can't remember why specifically, but you have the gun from Chloe.
Chloe gave the gun to Max for Max to practice.
Okay.
And Max didn't want to, and so she hid the gun behind her. And then when someone came in, she hid it behind her.
So yeah. So Frank's like, well, Chloe, you gonna give me my money? I mean, you better give me my money, girl, otherwise things are gonna be bad. If you don't give me my money, it'll be bad. And then Max brings up the gun and aims it at Frank. And he's like, you don't have the balls to pull the trigger.
He also pulled out a knife.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying.
That's the reason she pulled out a gun.
Yeah,
because he pulled out a knife.
Yeah.
She didn't just pull out a gun on a guy.
Yeah, she did.
A knife and he was, but for
I
no
know.
cause. Like he pulled out a knife and was approaching close. So it's like
he was threatening Chloe. That's what I was saying is I'm gonna do stuff to you.
Yeah.
So you have the option to pull the trigger and shoot Frank, or just stand there and wait it out.
Well, what happened is I didn't shoot, then I rewinded, then I shot, then I rewinded and didn't shoot.
Okay, so now he has the gun.
He has the gun.
I did the exact same thing. I didn't shoot because I know how the other route goes.
Yeah, I didn't shoot because here's the thing. Now it's like, okay, we have a gun. He knows we have a gun. He knows that both of them are willing to try to kill him. That is so much more of a threat in our hands. We already have Nathan. And also the police so far, to our knowledge, well, to my knowledge, let me specify, I don't know if they're even going to be on our side, especially with the fact that now we have a bunch of people saying we just have accusations, and people think that we're now using, like, drugs and stuff. So, or weed. So I was like, let me not go ahead and get another enemy on top of us. So I was like,
oh, your thought process is very fair.
Yeah, I'm like thinking for every single. By the way, also signing the names. I was like, my thought to what this is gonna do is this is probably gonna be used as evidence for later or something. Or I like maybe I kind of ruined the shrine, but also I could see it being a sense of this is like that's more of whatever. You think, oh, it's used for a shrine, but it's actually used by like someone finds it and they get the names. So I was just wondering, like that was my thought. So,
oh man, you're gonna have to wait and see.
Dude, like when I'm telling you right now, when I entered Kate's room, my brain was like Sherlock Holmes, just looking at everything, trying to read everything, trying to like, is this a thing? Is that a thing? What's this? Like,
what's this? What's this? This shit everywhere. What's this? There's something in the air. What's this?
Just yeah, I was very more observant with this part than I was with last part.
So, with after you talk to Frank, you can either take your gun or walk away pissed. Let's go, because Andrew and I both did walk away with gun. He takes gun and it's like, oh, this is part of your interest. And if you don't give me my money by Friday, I'll come after you with this interest. And he leaves. Chloe gets all bit of upset. It's like, well, thanks for letting him take my gun, Max. God. You know what? That's fine. It's fine. I guess is the best scenario possible. I just got to get him. I got to get him his money. And so, let's go chill out. Let's go relax. So they go outside behind the thing, because behind the junkyard is the rail track. So they're sitting there talking about life and all that stuff, everything happening. Like, they talk Rachel Amber, Chloe's life, Max's life. And then as they go to leave, Chloe's stuck. Her boot is stuck. And this part pisses me off.
It does. It pisses me off so much.
Because you could just take her boot off.
Yeah, like one, just take your foot off, right?
Your foot off?
Your foot off. You can take your foot off. No, you can take the shoe off. You take your foot out of it, right? How did your foot get in it? Like, what?
Well, because they were sitting there with their feet just doing that, and that's something I 100% can understand, because whenever I sit, because it's like an ADHD thing, is you just like shoving stuff inside other things. So that's 100% something I fully understand. But the fact that she didn't take her foot out of her boot is what pisses me off.
She didn't said her take her foot off. Just cut it off. Yeah.
So you then have to go through a little puzzle of getting Chloe out of there, because there's a train coming. And anytime you do it, you have to make it go to a different route. I can't remember what the things are called, but just changing the tracks. So you go up a hill, get a crowbar, bust in a little room, grab some wire cutters, go back down, go a little electrical board, cut the red wire. Then you can change the route thing. Chloe then can get out of the thing, because what it does is like shifts the tracks enough that she can pull her foot out. And then a near miss, she almost gets hit by a train. That could have gone really bad, because they could have absolutely derailed a train. Because how that quick change could have really fucked everything up.
Yeah.
And so then Chloe and Max like, okay, Max, you're a superhero. You saved me. Thank you. And so Max is like all kinds of crazy, all sorts of stuff. And I believe she passes out. Does she pass out?
I don't think it's there, no. It's literally back at like with when she passes out, her nose. So the first time her nose bleeds is whenever they're in the diner.
Okay, yeah, okay, it's a later one.
The second time
it's later.
happens after the bullets, like after they shot all the bottles.
Yeah.
They show up. I was like, wow, that was cool. Then her nose bleeds a lot. She passes out and has vision.
Yeah, that's where it is. Yeah, she
then
does.
She wakes
okay,
up,
I have that part.
Then the interactions with Frank happens, and then the train.
Yeah. She passes out. You just get a little idea. That's kind of it. She just passes out.
The tornado again.
Yeah, again. I think from this on, we'll just say she passes out, because unless something actually specific happens with the thing. So, Chloe's in like, you know what? You're the superhero fighting crime. I'll be your chauffeur, and I'll get you to school on time. So you ride with Chloe.
Yeah, what happens is they're talking, and then Chloe has a theory. She's like, you know what? Like, you're saying a tornado's going to happen. There's all this chaos going on that you've prevented.
Chaos theory.
Have you ever heard of chaos theory? And Max, like, the interactions was or like continue the conversation of just I already know chaos theory, which I mean I already do. And so
anything that can go wrong will go wrong.
Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. Also, something based off of like just build up of chaos, like it's just like multiple little like a bunch of little chaotic things can create something massive. So literally a bunch of positive can create a bunch of positive, a bunch of negative create a bunch of negative, and so it's a very interesting theory. And I've actually looked into this theory forever ago, and it's very interesting. I actually love.
It's very chaotic.
Yeah, if this game is actually going, which I mean, kind of told already about it with the literal name of a part, but. I really, really love that this seems like it's going around based off of chaos theory. I think that's super cool.
Yeah.
And then they say their goodbyes. She goes inside and she then looks around the school. You can kind of just look around. You don't really get to do too much except there's like a person at the beginning that she's like a. Super
it's just conversation. You can talk to Wells. Again, he's the principal, and you can also reiterate, "Hey, Nathan had a gun," or you can leave that quiet. You can talk to Madsen, have him.
I went everything down with any time I was able to tell someone. Like there was.
You told
there
him.
was,
Good.
Yeah.
You after everything, and you go to the classroom, and on the classroom you see Victoria and Nathan sitting at your desk talking shit on you. And Nathan's being all big and bad. It's like, ugh, look, it's the snitch making up more lies about things I've done. And she's like, yeah, fuck off. I don't. And Max is like, fuck off. Can I have my seat back, please? You know, they get up and he's like, hey, I'm watching you, bitch. I hate Nathan. He's not my most hated character, but I hate Nathan.
He's currently my most hated character.
Oh, that's going to change real quick.
I'll have to wait and see.
So, as you're in the classroom, Jefferson comes in and is like, hey, I know you guys love me. If you're not part of this class, beat it. And he's sitting there talking all sorts of stuff. And you're just sitting there listening to him lecture, which is really weird because this is, part one, Max was talking to herself when the lecture was going on. And now she's not talking to herself. She's kind of watching everything go on. Everything's going. And the next thing you know, a dude pops in the room. He's like, hey, guys, shit's going down at the girls' dorm. Go check it out. And everybody gets up and they leave.
Yeah, dude, I immediately knew, like, oh, no.
Oh, and while you're in there doing this thing too, as soon as you sit down, you look out the window because you see Jefferson. But before you walk in the classroom, you see Jefferson and Kate talking, and Kate runs away crying. Tell him about everything. Nathan has a gun. Blah blah yada yada. You sit in the room. You see Kate running outside, presumably still crying, with David hiding behind a tree, doing whatever it is he's doing. And then.
Pictures.
Yeah. No, I know. No, there's reason. I'm just saying he's doing whatever it is he's doing.
Yeah.
It's like, I know it's like whenever you do something, you're doing whatever it is you're doing. I know what you're doing, but you're doing whatever you're doing. So, cut back to outside the dorms, and Max runs to the dorm quick. I assume quick. I hope quick. And you know what I really love, Danger? She's just walking. It's like whenever we play D&D, you and Chase were in all sorts of shit at the base of the wall, and Dean is just gently walking down the steps like a cool guy. That's what I hope she's not. I know she didn't do that. That's just all I imagined. Okay, let's go see what's at the dorm. Do. So, you make your way to the dorm,
and everybody's watching it. And it's like, I can't believe she's doing it. She's crazy. You look up, and Kate is on top of the school, and she jumps off. She's committing suicide. And this is where you realize, I've made mention before to Danger that this game gets dark, but this is one of those dark moments. This is one of those everything also ties into things, because things lead into other events that happen. So, Danger, do you want to take the rest of this?
Sure. Yeah, this was literally, I knew this was gonna be a thing from the very, first part going in. I already knew this was gonna be a scenario in the game. I was like, alright, it's this, I already know. My goal now is to make sure that this doesn't happen. And so I was very careful with all the decisions in the game. I tried to be very observant. I interacted with Kate every time. Tried to make sure anytime I left her, I was leaving with an interaction that I thought would be better for the situation. And then going in, yeah, what you do is you go turn around and you see, and here's the thing. Yeah, first you don't even know what's going on. You see a bunch of people talking, and then it turns to her being on the roof. I'll tell you right now, I was so worried that she already did. Like, I thought she already did, and we were gonna be revealed, like, oh, you messed up, something happened. But no. Yeah, she's on the roof, she jumps. You try to rewind time, and you rewind it a few times, just to stop her from falling. But then what happens is time just stops. Your nose starts bleeding, time stops, and you're desperately holding it still. You walk towards the school, and you enter inside to get to the roof. And this is by far the coolest part of the entire game so far to me that happened. Your powers stop working. Throughout this entire game, every choice you made, if you were unsatisfied with your answer, even if you didn't check what the others were, or your options, or thought about it, you always had the ability to choose again. You always had the ability to change your options. But now it made it very clear within the animation, the cutscene, that your powers were no longer working. And now you have to talk Kate off of the ledge, and you have to get her back onto the roof. This, by far, was the most, focused, most thought out. Every decision I made, I was sitting there just thinking about every single interaction. Because you're left with, a few words, right? But you don't know what every option that is said, what everything else is said afterwards is. I've seen a bunch of skits about that, speaking of which were Telltale type games. But it's I'm here to make peace. It's like, I'm here to make peace by slaughtering all of you or something. It's like, no, not that. But yeah, I was thinking of all those types of scenarios. And basically I was very careful to pick answers based off of being more personal. Not something that you would think you would say to someone just straight up oh no, everything will get better. Oh, you don't have to worry. We're here for you. Oh, people love you. Just throwing out words to try. And even if they're honest, right? It's not what they need to hear. It's not down personal, honest, what they need to hear. And I was very careful to try to pick all those. Apparently, I made a mistake at some point. Because I didn't do everything properly, I guess. I thought I did, but also telling her to go to the police, or not telling her to go to the police, apparently was one of the big things to not do. And apparently also from someone who commented on while I was streaming, apparently earlier on, a lot of people failed this earlier on. Not anymore. It was much higher. But again, this game's been out for a long time, and I'm sure a lot of people knew how to, and they literally played it solely to save her. But at the time, it is pretty cool to think that I was able to do the one thing I wanted to do. But yeah, managed to talk her down. I was very careful with the decisions, and one thing that happened, I was very careful to pick what I was saying. But then she said this. She said, who cares for me? I know you do, but who else does? And it showed her dad, her mom, her brother, and her sisters. When I tell you, it was like a movie scene in my head to where I was Sherlock Holmes breaking down the room. I was thinking of like what she said. I was thinking about her books, her posters, her notes. I was thinking about everything, and then I remembered the father's note, and I was like, your father cares for you. And it was such a stressful situation, but I managed to save Kate. And that was literally my goal from the very beginning. Also, another thing that happened is whenever Kate was like starting to leave the school, I followed her to see if there's anything else I can do or any form of evidence or just anything to make sure everything's okay. And apparently, the person who watched me did it said he's never seen someone do that before, which I don't know why. Maybe people would just think it's I mean, it was just an animation. There wasn't actually anything. But I was wanting to see if there was anything, like maybe any hints or clues or something. Like, because you can rewind time. So it's like, could I rewind time to see something in case I missed anything? But yeah, I finally got her off of the roof, and then you go to the principal's office. And then changes us to the principal's office. You're with the principal, you're with the teacher, you're with the security captain,
the chief of police,
the security guy, the cameraman, and you're
chief
also
of police.
No, and you're with
what's his name?
Nathan.
There you go.
David?
No, Nathan. I was making sure you were saying Nathan.
Nathan.
I just wanted to hear your thoughts
I
on. I just wanted to hear your thoughts on the big old Kate moment because I know you were invested with Kate like I was.
Yes. Oh my gosh, dude. I was like, I cannot let this happen.
So,
like, no.
Ending out this episode, Wells is talking. This is bad. This is a big bad blight on Blackwell Academy. And so Max is kind of the center of it. And one thing that kind of pisses me off on how Wells handles this stuff is he's talking to Max. Like, Max, why were you on top with her? Huh? Which, it pisses me. I know he says, did she tell you? Spill the beans. And he's like Max has done something wrong. It's not that Max got her off the roof. Max did something wrong, and I don't like Wells.
Absolutely not. No, that was like, I was like, what do you mean? Would you prefer her not be on the roof and get her down? Like, what do you think she's the one who? Like, oh my goodness. Like, yeah, no, definitely. Like, as soon as she's like, oh, you caused a problem, I was like, all right, you're just trying to point fingers to get some form of dirt on Max. Screw you.
Yeah. So he's in this is something big. This hasn't happened before. Somebody's got to be reprimanded. And then he starts kind of pointing out every person. He's like, Madsen, you're chief of police. The roof should have been locked. The fact that she made it up there is your fault. There's no doubt about that. Nathan, you hold the Vortex parties. Something happened at the Vortex parties, and shit went down because she was at the Vortex party, which caused a lot of the chaos that happened here. Jefferson, she was one of your bright pupils. You two did whatever it is you do together, and you should have known something was distressed and try to help her out. And so he then turns to Max. Max, since you seem to be like the center of all this, who do you think is most at blame for Kate trying to commit suicide? And so then you have the option of blame Madsen, blame Nathan, or blame Jefferson. I'm gonna withhold my answer till later on who I actually chose. Danger, who did you pick?
So my thought process was Nathan. Immediately Nathan. Like, without a doubt. Like, I almost clicked it immediately that was Nathan. I was like, okay, let me think. Before I click it, because as much as I'm gonna pick it, let me think for a second. I was like, okay. No way I was gonna pick the professor, because, like, literally, what happened was, I think that final thing is what sent her over the edge, but she was already there. Like, she was not okay. And has not been for the last week. She has not been okay. And so immediately I was like, okay, it's definitely not him. I think that's just like last bit of hope. Like what happened was from perspective, from what I have of observation is this was one of the only things that she had left holding on to. And now it's like, okay, well now you no longer have that. Like, you no longer have one of the only things you were holding on to left. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that happened. That's not his fault. No way I'm going to blame him. Should I blame the security, chief security? Should I tell him? Should I blame him? I'm like, yeah, he's been, like, extremely rude, and he wants to put up security cameras and stuff, and that's weird and whatnot. But he's also security. Like, if he's gone, there's already problems around here as it is. If we even have, like, no security at all, there's going to be a lot, especially with Nathan around. No security and Nathan's around and didn't get caught for anything. He's going to be dangerous. So I was immediately like, yeah, Nathan. It has to be Nathan. I've literally been saying it this whole time. Anytime I got the chance to tell someone, I did. And so I was like, I gotta stick to my gun here. I did this entire playthrough. Protecting Kate and getting Nathan told on was my entire, like, arc. And both of those got finished.
Fair.
They still do not blame him for the gun yet, but the accusation is there. Like, it's there. Like, they're not gonna ignore the accusation, but also there's no proof, which, I mean, yeah, I mean, it makes sense. But there was enough evidence towards the thing with him being the reason Kate was like that. So he got expelled.
He got suspension. Indefinite suspension.
Yeah.
And so then that's kind of the end of the thing where Nathan's like, well, fine, I'll see you in court. It's like, okay.
I got so many lawyers.
But then you end the episode. You see everybody kind of going their separate ways. Madsen goes home and is talking with Joyce because, they're married. Jefferson's talking to Wells and he drives off. Nathan walks in the room with Victoria, which is weird because he should be suspended, so he shouldn't be able to get in there.
Yeah, no, he shouldn't. Like, I'm like, as soon as I see that, I'm like, what the like, what?
And then after that, then you have Warren and Max talking about this is just a crazy week. Everything's gone down. I saved a life today, which is cool. As they're talking to each other, then an eclipse starts happening. Very noticeable eclipse.
However long it was.
And so,
it was a while ago.
With that, everything going their own way, the eclipse happening, and the music playing, cut to end of episode 2, credits start to roll. So episode 2 is kind of where you start to realize there's a lot going on with this game, and it just gets downhill so quick. Oh god, it gets so much worse.
Oh boy. Yay.
There we go. Alright, so episode 3. We are now into the Chaos Theory. I'll say this one is probably one of the more entertaining ones, I feel like. It just has some really entertaining moments in there for some of the things that happen, and I really like it. It's not my favorite episode in the entirety of it, but it's entertaining. It's entertaining to kind of see a little bit of some of the things that happen later on in here and how more characters interact with each other in ways we didn't actually fully expect. So, episode 3, Chaos Theory. You wake up from a nightmare. She's talking to... Max is having issues. She's dealing with the repercussions of Kate. And since Danger and I both had Kate survive, we're going to go with the story that Kate did survive. So, yeah. So, anyway, Max wakes up from her thing, and it's middle of the night, let's say midnight or so. She gets a message from Chloe. It's like, hey, Max, meet me in front of Blackwell. We're going to have a hella good time tonight. So you leave your room, and it's empty, everything's quiet. You can go into the bathroom, you can see Taylor in there, talk to her for a little bit, and she gives you insight that Victoria has left the dorm. Kind of, it's not useful information at this moment. You can talk to her, you can talk to Deanna, and everything's just going happy-dandy in their wonderful little lives. As happy as they are. Taylor, if you were friendly to Taylor earlier in episode 2, you talk to her like she's a friend in episode 3, like, hey, you help her cope with everything that's happened with Kate. And this is another part that's showing as much of a bitch as Victoria actually is, her crew really is not terrible. Danger may not agree with it, but it kind of shows that, yes, Victoria is the queen of bitches at Blackwell. But she has no competition, so she's a good person. Just it's like me. I'm an asshole. I'm a good person, but I'm an asshole. That's exactly like that. Would you agree, Danger?
You're an asshole.
Okay, good. You agree. That's all I wanted you to agree with, you bastard. You leave this area and you see good old Wells. Good old Principal Ray Wells. Drunk. Outside of his little, I don't know what that is. I don't know. I still haven't actually figured out if that's like his, like, living area. Or if that's just like his workspace area. I'm not entirely sure.
Did you know there was 2 encounters in the hallway area?
Yeah, you have one with Victoria and one with Deanna. Not you have one with Taylor and one with Deanna.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I just remember that you mentioned Taylor. I didn't hear the other part.
Taylor's more. I feel like Taylor. Both of them are kind of just coping with the whole of Kate stuff, but
Yeah.
Taylor, Victoria. Picture. There we go. But Diana didn't have as much stuff because all she said is like, "Hey, Victoria's sneaking out." So it's kind of reiterating that Victoria snuck out is all she really did. You can talk to her, help her cope. That's all. Like some side things is just helping characters cope right now. Somebody almost committed suicide, like let's say 6 hours prior. Max is being hailed as the hero of Blackwell. Very cool. There we go. So sneak past good old drunk Wells. Meet Chloe. You talk to her a little bit, and she's like, "All right, I got the keys from my good old step dude. So we're gonna go in there." You make your way to the front, and you see Mr. Jefferson and Victoria talking. So anyway, you see Jefferson and Victoria talking, and it seems like Victoria is trying to make advancement on Jefferson. She's 100% doing that, and she's like, "Hey, you know I take good pictures. What if you and I went to Seattle? You know, my pictures are already delicious, so why don't you just say I win and we can go spend a week in Seattle, Mark?" And he's like, "You know what? I'm going to walk away from this. Don't talk to me." And he leaves, and Victoria leaves all pissy. I love it. I love whenever these kind of characters get their, like, comeuppance, and it's like, "Hey, you wanna?" Ha! No. And they just get left hanging. I love that. So, you then get a sneak into the school. What you're trying to do is you're trying to find information on, like, Kate and all the stuff going on, because Wells knows more than he's letting on, so you want to find out about some of the student files, like find out about Nathan, find out about Max, find out about all this stuff, possibly find out about Rachel Amber and why she's disappeared. So that's what your whole goal is in this. So, make your way in, look around the school, do some stuff, you can take some fun pictures, you can alter Warren's grade, all very unimportant things. Then you make your way to the principal's office. And, oh no, the door is locked. Chloe's like, "Oh, don't worry, I have David's keys. They don't fit." Well, shit. So Max looks around, can't find keys, and then she texts Warren. It's like, "Hey, Warren, theoretically, if there was a door that you couldn't get into because of a lock that we don't have the key to, what would you do? What sciencey thing would you do?" And he's like, "Oh, let's just make a pipe bomb."
I'm just saying, what a goated friend. You text him at 3 a.m. with a hypothetical, and he hypothetically gives you an answer, which is hypothetically a bomb.
It's a pipe bomb, Danger.
My
And as somebody who may have hypothetically experimented once before, this hypothetically could work. So,
hypothetically don't need to know that, thanks. I don't need to know.
well, you have to go grab sugar, you have to grab a little container, you have to grab some duct tape to keep everything together, then you have to have some sodium chlorate, which is just a weed killer. So, get all that stuff, blow up the door in a really cool fashion, alarm goes off. And you have to go into the office, rewind everything before you set off the bomb, which is really weird because you have all the stuff at this point and technically have the bomb. Where does the bomb go after you rewind time, Danger? You're in this area, you go inside, rewind time, door's locked,
And here's the funny part about this is you listen to Chloe on the other side of the door, and she's just bitching like, oh, I'm gonna do this before Max just goes on the other side and opens the door. I'm gonna be better than her. She ain't gonna do her bullshit magic powers. Did you hear her little bitching at the door? Bitching at Max?
For like a minute, yeah, for like a second.
It just gets funnier because she's like, stupid Max, stupid powers. I have brains. I can get in here without her magic powers. And I would have loved. And because you open the door and she's like, oh man. And she's like, fuck. I would have loved that. That's just her reaction. It fucking just throws everything to the ground.
Like, already knows it's you opening the door. She's not even scared, like, oh, it's someone. Like, she already knows it's you.
It's just, you just open. Here's what's funnier. Is the doorknob turned, and you just hear that cartoonish, like, high schooler sigh. That's like Fortnite says, ah!
Yeah.
That would have been funny. So.
Just starting, you got powers.
I mean, you can actually do that early. You can actually do that again. I don't know if you, I don't know if you actually did this. But I'll ask you whenever we get to it. So now you're in the office. You start looking at all the files on everybody. You find Max's file. You find Nathan's file. You find Victoria's. You find all this shit. And let's see here. Chloe, go through the principal's computer, find some stuff, more files. Then she will find $5,000 sitting in his top right desk. Or the top right desk drawer. You then are given the option, because this is $5,000, you could pay off Frank. But you're stealing from handicapped people. So, what do you do? Do you want to have a dude who could theoretically kill you? Or do you want to take away from the handicap fund? Danger, what did you do?
I left the money.
I took the money.
Oh. Asshole.
I was gonna make a joke. I don't want to make a joke now. But yeah, so you either take or don't take it, then you leave, and Chloe's like, you know what? We're in the school. Let's go have some fun. So you go to the swimming pool to see maybe it's heated, have a good late night swim. I don't know about you, Danger, but a late night swim sometimes hits really hard. So the two swim. They have some good old just relaxed time talking about, they're friends. They're just buddying up with each other. You can have a choice here that maybe kind of does some stuff later on in the game. But we're not going to worry about that. They're just talking. They're de-stressing about everything. They talk Rachel Amber stuff. They talk about life and all the good things. They get out of the pool. And as they're getting out of the pool, they hear people like, hey, where are you? We know you're in there. And so you now have to escape from the campus security in the most boring, and I mean the most boring stealth segment I've ever actually played.
Yeah, I'm just going to say this right now. Miles Morales did it better.
So, you make your way out, and Chloe's like, okay, Max, you can't stay here. You got to come to my house. You're a Blackwell fugitive. And there's one issue I have with this, because you see David Madsen there. Chloe gets in her truck and zooms off, and you see him run out to the thing. The issue I have, even if he wasn't there, is, had somebody said, hey, Chloe's truck was here around the same time that the break-in occurred, and then it zoomed off, what are you going to do? I'm going to put two and two together here. Whenever you wait, it's saying here, we'll actually be fixed here in a minute. So, they go to Chloe's house, sneak in, and go to bed. You wake up the next morning, and Max's clothes reek of chlorine, because it's a school pool, so they put in like exactly 45 times the normal amount of chlorine into that pool. You wake up, Max is like, man, my clothes still reek. And I made mention of Danger in this in the last part of this, in episode 2. But Chloe's like, you know what? Go try on Rachel's clothes, see if they fit. She's about your size. Well, what about you? You gonna go have breakfast? I gotta hit my morning drag. I told you she has to take a hit of weed when she wakes up in the morning, remember?
Yeah.
I wasn't lying. So you go put on her clothes, go check it out, go look at that. You look like Rachel Amber. Go downstairs, talk to Joyce. She makes you breakfast, and you two talk for a little while. Just kind of like, hey, I'm glad you're back in her life.
she's a lot. You can't tell, but she's a lot happier now that you're here. Especially with Rachel being gone, you're helping her out a lot. You make whatever breakfast, do whatever you want to. And then Chloe comes on down, and she starts bitching. She starts like, Mom, you didn't make me breakfast? My blueberry waffles? You made her shit? And so she's just buying... And so all she's doing right now is she's just causing a scene in order to get Max time to go sneak off and go explore David's cave. You know, his garage and all that stuff. So Chloe causes a distraction, blah, blah, blah. You end up going into his area because he knows stuff. So, find a passcode, because his stuff is locked. Find passcode. Go looking through all of his things. And you can, he has information on Kate. You know, like, hey, something's going on. He has pictures of Kate. He has more stuff on there. He has a lot of information that theoretically him as a normal campus security guard should not have. So take the info back to Chloe, to which after Madsen shows up, and then a fight breaks out, and he's like, depending on how, right now, I'm a dick. I've been a dick to him. He does not like my Max. He's like, you're always here, smoking your doobies, probably broke into the school. I mean, he's not wrong, but he's just being all bitchy, and so a fight breaks out. Chloe defends Max, Joyce defends Chloe and Max. Like, hey, David, chill the fuck out. And as it goes on, as the conversation goes on, he's just talking shit, and Max has the option to chime in. So, as everyone is talking shit on him, Joyce and Chloe or David, you have the option to side with David or side with Chloe. I'm assuming, knowing you sided with Chloe, right?
Yes.
Okay. I did too, just because I'm like Dick Max to him right now.
Yeah, like already, like it's, here's the thing. At the end of the day, that's an issue. Like no matter what his intentions were, none of that was okay. None of it was good. That can be very dangerous. That's a very not okay person. So yeah, I wasn't gonna try to like let him get away with it. I wasn't gonna do that. And then also let him get away with it for then to him do something wrong to then also hinder my relationship with the other person that I'm like hanging out with.
Yep.
So like I did not see any positives at all. I'm pretty sure I actually did it like immediately. I don't know if I even thought about it. I probably did, but in my head I clicked it immediately.
Ah, man, I can't wait till later. It could be the right choice, it could be the wrong choice. Who knows? Only I do.
I don't care.
So, anyway,
There's so many choices that could be a wrong choice, and you'll still be okay in the end.
Either way, whatever choice you do, you get asked, like, you have to leave. Is whether or not David says, hey, please leave, or Chloe's like, okay, let's bounce. If you side with David, David is like, hey, thank you for siding with me. And depending on the route you go, like right now, if you go Dick Max, he's like, thank you, Max. I might have been wrong about you, but I want to be left to my thoughts. Please leave. Or if you do the other one and siding with Chloe, he's like, get out of my house. You fucked with my family enough. But you're going to the diner.
But funny enough, it's not his house.
I know.
He doesn't own the house. It's not his. Dick.
Yep. So while you're in his little area, you find out about, you want to get your Frank and all that stuff. You let Frank have something kind of do with stuff. Don't know entirely, but he has a little bit to do with stuff. So go to the diner where Frank's eating breakfast. You fuck with Frank and you get his keys. There's multiple ways to kind of converse with him. You can talk with him, go talk to a police officer, get a little bit of information. He'll hand his keys over. Nathan's also in there. You can go talk to Nathan. He'll say, hey, if you say you want some higher education, then he'll give you some drugs and all that stuff. So just do all the stuff. Whatever you do, you have to get his keys from him. So get his keys. Oh! Yeah, no, I have a right. I do have a right. Okay, you get his keys, and as you open up his door, his dog comes out. And, Danger?
Mm-hmm.
Which choice did you pick with dog? You can either throw to parking lot or throw away, or throw the other direction. Throw left or throw right.
I think we both know which option I went with.
Please tell me you threw it to the road.
No, I didn't. Of course I didn't throw it to the road.
If you threw it to the road, the dog died.
No, really? No shit. Yeah.
Well,
No, I didn't throw it to the road.
Okay.
So you go after he does that. You throw it a bone or a steak. I can't remember specifically which, but either way, you throw something that it wants. So go look around his thing. At this point, you don't know a whole lot. You kind of know that Frank has something to do with stuff. He knows too much. Look at his shit. You find his drug deal list. You also start finding out that him and Rachel actually started having relations. Like they were together in their own weird way.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Rachel's 19. It's fine.
Little side eye, but it was all good. Everything was
So,
just side eye.
anyway, you get all the stuff. Go look in the RV. Let's see here. Yep, information about Rachel. Take to Chloe. She'll get mad at the whole thing. Yep, she'll get pissed off at Frank. Get pissed off at Rachel. And then leave. You go back to Chloe's house.
There was also the other big decision inside of the RV.
What was the big decision?
The gun. That was one of the decisions.
Oh, that's right.
where
Take the gun.
You could either leave it or take it.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
I took it.
Okay.
Because, I mean, like, don't want to leave it with him. Already don't have his money, so gonna take the gun.
Okay, well, I took his gun because I have the money.
No. I don't have the money and took his gun.
Well, you're in a much worse situation than I am.
Well.
So, you go
How
back...
does he know we took the gun?
You have to wait and see. So,
Okay.
anyway, yeah, you go back to Chloe's house, and you're just kind of talking about all this stuff, and you end up looking at some old pictures. No, she drops you off at Blackwell. You go into your room, and then you're looking at pictures, like, man, I miss the past. And probably one of my favorite parts of this game, Max starts looking at this picture, and it starts to wibble wobble. As it wibble wobbles, she starts hearing voices, and then you can focus on the picture, and you can travel back in time to when that picture is taken. That's so cool.
Yep.
So, you now are in the past 5 years prior. Chloe and her father, William, are making pancakes, or waffles. You're making breakfast. And Max is just freaked out. Like, what's going on? And as time goes on, she starts remembering, this is the day, this is the moment that William died. Because William died in a car wreck going to get Joyce with groceries. And he died on the way there. So, in the past, you now have the ability to alter time itself to such a high degree. You look around the house, you see William grab his keys, and he's like, I'm off to yonder supermarket to get us doth grub. He leaves, you rewind, and you grab his keys, and you hide them to where he cannot find them. Things go passing on, and Max is like, hey, take the bus instead. You can take the bus. So, takes the bus, and Max starts hyping up with Chloe. Hey, we did it. I'm awesome. We're both awesome. And then you see a whole little slew, like a little montage kind of the past of time changing.
Mm-hmm. There's a cool little Easter egg you can do that room. I accidentally figured out.
What,
I don't think there was literally any purpose of doing it at all.
Writing on the fireplace?
Yeah, I didn't even mean to do that. I didn't even see it. I was just looking around. I don't know what I tried to click on or if I clicked by accident, but I accidentally figured it out.
Oh, I just broke my Beyblade. Aw.
Oh no! What? No! Beyblade, no!
Yeah, the performance tip.
Oh, dude, I can't not tell you how many performance tips I've broken. I've broken like 5.
I have the Gravity Destroyer spin track, and it's just kind of, and I don't know. It's on there. Don't get me wrong. It's on there. That's the issue. It's on there.
Oh, it's broken like it's stuck. Oh.
Yeah, like the connection thing is like a little warped a tad, so I can't just pop it off like normal.
Well, at least it's broken on it, not broken off it. So
yep. So
there's at least that.
Anyway, flashback, do all your stuff, and then it cuts back to normal time. And Max is outside Blackwell, not hanging out with Warren, not hanging out with Stella, not hanging out with Kate or Alyssa. She's hanging out with Taylor, with Victoria, with Nathan. She's hanging out with the Vortex Club. And she's just like, hey, what's going on? Victoria's like, hey, Maxine, wake up. And Max is like, hey, not Max, never Maxine. Oh, I'm sorry, you're Mad Max. Am I right? Ha ha ha. You're not pissed, are you? So Max is freaking out. She starts realizing what the hell happened. She gets up and sees everything's changed. Warren is now with Stella. He's happy. That I don't have an issue with. And then she's like, wait a minute, Chloe. So she hops on a bus and quickly books it to Chloe's house. Knocks on the door. William, Chloe's dad, opens the door. It's like, Max, it's been so long. You know what? You know who would love to see you, actually? Hey, Chloe, come here. And you see Max looking, because it's looking, you're looking at Max through the doorway. And Max starts like putting her hand over her mouth like, oh my God, what the hell? And Chloe rides up in a wheelchair. She is now quadriplegic. And that's where the episode ends with whales getting washed up on the beach. And that's
Fucking
where
weakling.
And that's where episode 3 ends. So, Danger, since this is your first time through, I did not get to hear your thoughts. You know?
No, that I was legitimately just like, oh man, like at that part, like legitimately, I think I was just quiet. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I was just quiet for that part.
It's,
I don't know if I did talk or anything. I'm
I don't
wondering if
either.
my audio did glitch.
Yeah,
or
it
if it's
did.
just I went
No.
quiet.
No, it
It
did.
was distorted.
Yeah, no, like a whole you go watch it, like all of it glitched. You couldn't even hear the game.
That's so annoying and upsetting.
Yep.
It's whatever, but it's like that sucks.
So what, this is what I was talking about leading into episode 4 is what the actual fuck. And
a lot changed.
oh my God, so much did. And
I even after like when the credits were playing, I even started talking about that, like about I started talking about like all the things that have changed, like all the things that can change over a single different outcome. A single thing, how much can change over one thing, and you never know. You legitimately never know. Like I like one thing is right. Like let's say tomorrow, right? Tomorrow it's like, oh, we're not doing anything. Oh, our family is like, hey, let's get together. By choosing to go or not to go could literally change like a bajillion things. It could be nothing changes. It could be a bajillion thing changes. And literally like just, I don't know, like there's just so much stuff can happen differently over a single action. Such as me just literally downloading Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle just for the goof, the fun, the let me try this game out. And now here I am with the
yeah, man, could you
Here we are. Literally, Games and Gamers would not be here if I didn't play Dokkan Battle.
Okay, you know what? I can't say that. You can't say that.
This version of Games and Gamers.
This slightly more professional version, where
This
we actually have a
version-
picture drawn that I didn't have to spend $100 on.
Yeah, where we an early look, a beta of Games and Gamers to the potential that it can be, would not be here. It would be y'all would have to wait longer for Hayden to be able to make a much better version.
Fiverr.
Fiverr, yeah.
It's Fiverr. I would.
You want something that's funny? The funny thing that I have connections. I'm not gonna go into it because that's behind the scenes stuff. But it's funny that I have connections to people. I've never had connections before, and now I do. Let's go.
Yeah. You can finally do what I can do. How's it feel?
It's funny. It's weird. I'll explain off camera, but it's weird. There's a bunch of stuff. But yeah.
You don't even have half the power that I do, though.
I don't. I really don't. I don't have that. I'm not even gonna play with you right now. Yeah, no. But the episode, what they did mess me up towards the end. I'm just like, dang.
God, yeah, and then it leads into.
Gosh. Because yeah, dude, it's very real. It's very real. Besides the time rewind, everything is very real, and it sucks. It's sad. It's real. And so it's like, and then also imagine being Max.
Mm-hmm.
Like imagine being like, here's the thing, you made the decision, right? But like
Okay, I'm gonna say this right. Clearly, it's a game. It's a video game. It's a story, right? Imagine being Max and doing that to a real person. That's gonna mess you up.
There comes times, and I could be saying this from experience, I could be saying this from no experience, that you can look back on actions you have made, and you see how everything changed into such the degree that it actually happened.
Yeah, legitimately.
So anyway, that's why I love these kind of games, is you can look back, and one small thing can alter everything. It's why I love story-based games. They are... I know they're not for everybody, but realistically, these kind of games should be a baseline for story games.
Totally off and on topic. We gotta play Detroit Become Human at some point.
Fuck yeah, 100%.
Off and on topic at the same time.
Yep.
But yeah, these types of games are cool.
We're gonna have to, but that one will be... We're gonna have to do that on like Games to Gamers Gaming Danger. All right, we're back for episode 4 after a long 8 crazy nights, 7 crazy days, and 45 crazy weeks. Because this is how life works. We make up time and the world just goes along to it. So we're going into episode 4, The Dark Room. So, anyway, we're in episode 4, The Dark Room. And if you heard episode 3, I mean, it'd be weird if you didn't hear episode 3. These are all back to back. But episode 3 was very sad because it ended with Max teleporting to a whole other timeline where Chloe is quadriplegic, because she decided to save William. And oh my god, this is such a sad episode, Danger. It's so sad. This is when I was warning you, this could break you, because this broke me, because it was just so sad. But episode starts off going through the entire new timeline, and Max and Chloe are walking on the beach, and Chloe's like, Max, it's so good that we're friends again. It's so good to see you after all this time. It's a shame you didn't come visit me. And they're just chatting about it, and Max is like, hey, Chloe, I'm sorry. And she starts asking about the accident. What happened? Car wreck. Which, you know, Danger even talked about car wrecks being dangerous, which is kind of funny. Yeah, they're on the beach chatting with each other, and Max is just being very sympathetic. He's like, hey, Chloe, I'm sorry I never visited you. I'm sorry for all this stuff. Chloe's kind of being a teen. It's like, hey, it's okay. I don't hate you too much. I feel so bad. I feel so bad for this Chloe. Because the Chloe we know is rambunctious blue hair, is like, fuck y'all, I'm out of here. This Chloe's a lot nicer. She's so much sweeter. She's just grateful for everything. And I feel so bad for her. Not that she's grateful for everything, that's good. But she has no choice. So they chat for a little bit more. They talk about all the things going on, and she, accident, how life's been, the weird accidents, how it's still been snowing. Because in this timeline, snow still happened. Everything's happened the exact same way world-wise. I can't tell you anything outside of that because we don't know anything outside of that. They go back to her house, and they're just chatting, and you can see Chloe's setup, which, God, it's so sad. I've seen one of these in real life. It's so sad.
It's very brings you down whenever you see all of it.
It does. And people out there, yes, I'm smiling. I'm sadistic. It's okay. But as you're in there, you look around her room. You see, like, she has a little area where she can do, like, computer stuff. Like, she has chat rooms she chats with, so she has online friends, which are good and bad. Look at Danger. He made an online friend, and now we're in a stupid podcast together playing games.
Was your idea?
No.
You invited me.
I know, but you didn't have to say yes.
You're right.
So it's your fault. You said yes.
You invited me.
You said yes.
You gave me the ability to say yes.
You also had the complete ability to say no. We're both at fault.
It's your fault.
It's my fault for inviting you. It's your fault for saying yes.
Okay.
So you look out, you get a feel of her room that she is secluded to this room. Everything's been catered around her room. So you talk to her and she's, like, hey, can you get me a water? So you get her water. You want to watch a movie? Let's watch a movie. They put on, what was it? Blade Runner. They put on Blade Runner. And they even mention of, like, Chloe's like, man, I always loved whatever name's hair. You know what? You would rock blue hair, which is like, that's so sad. Because Max knows you do rock blue hair. It's so sad. And so they fall asleep and wake up the next morning. And they're making fun of each other. Chloe's like, you fell asleep, you loser. I'm sorry, Chloe. Are you okay? Are you alone? Hey, you're here. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter if if you're awake or not. You're here, and that's all that matters. Which is, God, I'm getting sad. I'm legitimately getting sad, dude. You can't tell. There are tears trying to form on my eyes. I'm too much of a badass to shed a tear.
One eye's pink. One eye looks pinkish.
No, you can't tell. It's here. I'm trying.
Okay,
it's trying to cry. My body's like, please, Hayden, cry. Fuck you. I'm a man. We don't cry. We bottle up our emotions. We throw them out in rage. Yeah. So she wakes up and says, hey, I need you to go grab me Ivy. I have a really bad headache. Can you please do this? It helps me with my medicine and all that. Or no, go grab me my pain pills. Go grab me my pain pills. Because she has a really bad headache. I had it backwards. So you go out and you can look around the house and you see everything's kind of the same. You see William. He's at the table looking at bills. And you can chat with him and he's like, she's been good as best as she can. We're doing everything we can to save her, take care of her, but she's dying. I can't remember what, it's like a respiratory infection, something she just cannot beat. She is going to die. She's on a clock.
Yeah.
You can talk to Joyce too, and she says the same thing. Get her pain pills. You can also look around and see the bills that are being kept for Chloe, and it was like over $30,000 a month. Which we're gonna go on a small side tangent. Fuck the American healthcare system. That's ridiculous. Because that's actually how it would be. So you get her pain pills, and you.
It is. Yeah.
So you start talking to. I hate this bot. I'm gonna have a hell of a time after all this.
Why? Why is this your focus of a bot?
Well, because this is hilarious. Because you know what I just got asked?
What?
I'm from so-and-so, Oklahoma. Do you have a girlfriend?
Oh, wow.
Come on, dude. You have to admit
That's so weird.
That's funny. You have to admit it's funny.
That's so weird that that's one of the questions you got asked. It's predictable. It's a bot.
I know, but it's still funny. It's still funny because it gets to a point. I even pointed out that they're a bot, so, they typically react actively. Anyway, so as you're sitting there
chatting here for an hour and a half.
Hey, well, to be fair, we've only been recording for 12 minutes. So fuck you. Anyway, so you chat for a little bit longer, and Chloe's like, hey, Max, I'm a burden to my parents. I know I am. They put in like $1 million into me every year to keep me alive. I sometimes act like a rowdy teen just so they can yell at me, because they won't yell at me for anything else. But I hate this life, Max. A lady has to wipe my ass. I can't do anything. It's a sad, depressing life I live. It's more or less what she's saying. So she asks Max, this is the best day I've had. This is the happiest I've been in a long time, because they hung out together for a full 24 hours. And you get to, you can see the happiness on her. Even with a crappy animation of it, she looks happy. And she's like, I love that you've come back. I love you. You're my best friend. I need you to do a big favor for me. And the big favor, Mac's like, okay, I'll do, what do you need, Chloe? I can help you as best I can. I know I'm going to die soon. They try and act quiet, but I can overhear them. I'm not dumb. I'm not deaf. My body's broken. My ears aren't. I need you to turn up my thing and kill me. And then you get the option. You get 3 options at this point. Yes, no, I don't know. Danger?
I hit the I don't know.
I know. I saw it. Because it's a tough option. you hit the I don't know option, and then Chloe, we'll go with this route, as Chloe says, Max, please, you're my best friend. I can't ask anybody else to do this. My parents won't do it. Please. And in the first time in this game, you are forced to give an actual answer. Like, you give an answer, and it's like, no, this is not the right answer. And it gives you another one. Yes or no.
Also, another thing is that, like, it's not that she asked you for it. She asked both of her parents for it, for this.
She would not ask her parents to do that.
She
She said thing to her parents, which is what I've said before. If I get to this point, let me die. But she didn't explicitly say, hey, kill me. She could not do that to her parents.
Mm-hmm. I thought she did.
It's literally like, hey, parents, can I die? I mean, I'm in a useless state. Not the same way that Max is. Mm-hmm. So, you have yes or no. And Danger, you picked a different answer than me.
You went yes?
Yes.
I went no.
I 100% could not. Because if you go no, she gets all upset. Chloe gets all upset at you because you will not help her. Her only request she actually has to make her happy, you will not go. And then she sulks off. She sulks. She sulks off. She just slightly turns her head to the right. Oh, man, I'm like in light of such a dark situation. I'm such an asshole. But if you hit yes, this is the one I do, because Mercy. She wants to be gone. She wants mercy on the world. She wants mercy in her world. And yes, it's very dark. It's very depressing. Because her parents would be heartbroken. Chloe would die. And theoretically, if Max is still in that world, let's say there's an alternate timeline, Max would be stuck there knowing I did this to Chloe. But at the exact same time, our parents would not be in crippling debt. To the point that there's a Family Guy gag. I don't. You know? Do you watch Family Guy?
Not to the extent. No, I don't watch like episode per episode.
I
used to forever ago.
This is going to sound really stupid, but this actually is on point. There is a dad in one of the cutaway gags who has his kids, 2 kids, and his wife, and he's literally okay. We sold our car. We sold my liver. We sold everything.
Yes.
But we can finally pay this month's bills. Now we got next month's.
Yeah, I remember. It's just like a mom and a dad talking about like moving a bunch of bills and stuff. It's like, yeah, we have all these bills and payments. Oh, we set like the date to our debt back by 2 weeks and whatnot. Now we might be able to live a week or something. Like I remember that bit. Yeah.
That's
not
wrong.
That one. Different.
This is wrong bit. Because they're like, hey, how about this? They're sitting there laughing, like, ha ha ha! Take the kids out in the front yard. I'll be there with a gun. They're in that kind of debt that they can never pay it off.
It was just only the mom and the dad at the table. It was only them.
Yeah, but they weren't like, hey, we took our bills back for 2 months. It's like, hey, we paid our bills off this month. Now we got to scrounge up for the next month.
Oh, yeah.
But that's what this is. And I'm going to sound awful, but I
typically do.
I am. I think the Mercy is the only right option there. I could be wrong. People out there disagree, but I think it's like a 50-50 on there. I think it's like 48. It's like 48-52.
It's very much a very hard decision, and there is a understandable argument for either side. There's an understandable argument for either side.
And I'm going to be on the side of Mercy.
It's a tough decision no matter what you do. It's a tough decision.
It's 100%.
No answer is easy, and both answers have a statement that you could justify. So it's a very, very hard, because like let's say someone let's say literally anyone asked me to do that. What the fuck? Like I don't know what I would do. That is because very big thing to go on, because there's the whole statement of why I like doing it, all the things of good that would happen, but then I'm taking away this person. I shouldn't take away the person because of all this. So it's literally the biggest, 2 heaviest answers. It's like, what do you do? And once you do it,
there's no going back. Like, theoretically, no going back. This game has it if you can rewind to go back, but we'll throw in the actual theory.
Oh yeah, it does a lot.
So Anyway, before all this goes into it, you're looking at a photo album. Chloe's like, hey, let's get this photo album. You look at this photo album going through the past, and that's where Chloe's like, hey, please let me die. My parents would not want this to happen, so please let me die. So whatever option you do, let's just go the option that Chloe exists anymore. Is she alive? Is she dead? She exists. So it's right in between. But you can look at this book and you can go back to the picture of when you took the photo of William and Chloe together that stopped everything that happened. Altered time itself. So you go back in time again and let everything play out the exact same way. William dies, Chloe goes bad, David comes into the life, it's all sad, and Max knows all of this, which is fun. It's not fun in a good way, but it's fun mentally. So she finally comes back to the real world. You're in Chloe's room. Inside Chloe's room, she's like, am I back? And she sees Chloe with her blue hair. She's like, hey, bitch! Max, what's wrong with you? Chloe! Oh, you're here! Is there some time travel thing? Like magic power thing I need to worry about? No, not at all. And Max says, I'm not going to say anything about it. Keeping this bit of information secret, which I understand entirely. You killed her father. You theoretically killed her. Max is a murderer. That's awful. But right now, you're back in the main line. You're trying to figure everything out on, like, Nathan with the drugs. What's his overall plan? Everything that's going on. They have a cork board behind them, and it's like, they have bits and scrap here. They got to piece things together. They got to go find a little bit more information. I think they have his phone. They just have a whole bunch of stuff to go to get this investigation underway so they can get Nathan Prescott busted. So, they decide, let's go talk to Frank. He has information because he's a drug dealer. Nathan has drugs. Let's go talk to Frank. 1 + 1 = 2. Frank. So they go to Frank's RV on the beach. You can see the whales. The dead whales, which is sad. Don't know how they got that far up, but it's sad. And you knock on his door, and you have an option here. Danger, what happened with Frank in your game?
Like, from beginning to end?
How did it end? Good or bad?
It ended good.
Good. It could end very bad.
It did end bad.
And then you rewound it and made it good.
And I rewound it.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I had it good the entire time. And then I made one mistake that undid the entire thing.
Yep.
I made one mistake.
Mm-hmm. And that's how...
Oh, yeah, I did stream that. Yeah, so I made one mistake.
Oh, you did? Did you stream that part? I never saw that part. That's right. Okay.
So the one mistake I did is I mentioned the dog's name. If I did not do that, would have been completely fine the whole time.
Fucking Pompidou.
Shouldn't have... Yeah, because the reason we found out the name is because we went inside. That's the only reason we found out the name. So literally, if I did not go and... Like, if I did not mention his name, would have been fine the whole time.
So... Anyway, going along with that is you start talking to him. You're trying to get information, like, hey, Frank, what do you want? And then you can pay him off at this point too. Give him the $5,000 you stole from the handicapped fund, which I did.
I didn't.
One fun thing, we're going to do a little tie-in because I completely forgot it. It's a small little thing that is not important to the overall plot. But you actually can find a letter that the Price family got from Wells, Blackwell Academy, that made Max like, you know what? I'm glad we took the handicap money. Because you can read one of those like, hey, sorry, we can't accommodate Chloe. Go look elsewhere. And it's this small stupid thing. I love that. I don't know why, but this is kind of funny. It's just kind of funny. But
even though they got the money, they weren't really able to help with everything.
Yeah, that's not why I'm laughing while it's funny. I'm just laughing at the fact of it's like you feel really bad about it, and like literally the next episode, Mac's like, "Oh, fuck them, fuck them. I'm glad we took the money." That's why I'm laughing at.
Because then you knew what would happen if it was the actual situation. Yeah, but the school was getting an upgrade of some sort due to it, so.
Yeah, they had wheelchair accessibility later on.
Yeah.
I took the money. I gave it to Frank.
Yeah, I left the money there.
I've played through it a couple times, so I know stuff, so it's fine. But anyway, you talk to Frank, you start talking about Rachel Amber. Hey, we need your drug list. We need all the information you have. We may be able to find Rachel Amber. So you talk to him in a very fun, like, we'll call it a dialogue boss battle, because it's very easy to screw up, and Frank gets killed in this.
That's what I was saying. I did really well for the longest time, and I almost didn't mess up.
And then mention a dog's name, Pompidou.
And if I didn't do that, I would have been fine.
So you end up getting the information you need, which is like drug deal, like it's like a drug deal, like times, places, and what they want. So now you have all the information you need to conclude your investigation. So you go back to the room and you start investigating, all sleuth style. Put on your all-seeing glasses. And, I'm sorry, Danger, you pushed up on your glasses. I said sleuth style, so I had to bring it. But you start doing sleuth style and figure out all this stuff. You do a little, like, this piece goes with here, 10 o'clock. There's a meeting they said, meet me here at 10:50. There's a drug tip-off that is at 10:56 at this area. So you do all this stuff and get the information you need.
This was probably my favorite part of the entire game.
It was fun, because you were being very sleuthy. It was very fun.
Yeah, gameplay-wise, this was probably my favorite part of the whole game. Yeah, it was my favorite part of the whole game.
You know, I guess there isn't much gameplay in here except for walking around and talking and rewinding.
Yeah, but this was definitely the most fun gameplay-wise. That was the most fun.
And so you also have Nathan's phone. If you end up taking his phone, I can't remember when you get it, but you have the ability to take his phone in one of the prior episodes.
Yeah.
No, I fucked up. I had something backwards. You visit Kate, then you deal with Frank. I thought it was Frank then going into Kate. Okay.
No. Yeah, no.
I had it backwards in my head.
Oh, good.
So, you actually get to go visit Kate. I should have put this in you. I'll fix it. But you go visit Kate. You go visit Kate in the hospital. You also have her bunny, Alice. So you go in and you start talking to her, and Kate's like, "Thank you, Max. I'm doing good. Everything's good. I can't leave for another day. My family will be here though tomorrow. It'll be great. Everything's good. Has anyone brought you? Yeah, they brought me flowers. I've given them to other patients because they need it more than me." And I'm like, "Oh my God, Kate, you're an angel." She's so sweet. She's so sweet. I love Kate. She's legitimately one of my favorite video game characters. She's such a good little character.
She is. Yeah. No, I was like, stay alive. Happy. Get joy. Have what do you want? I'll get it for you.
Danger's gonna go on full-on dad mode. He's just gonna be walking around bear hugging her. Just safety.
Stay alive. Live happy. What want me make you happy?
What me do make you happy? So you talk with her for a little bit. And
balloon.
I love the fact that she kept the balloons. Like,
yeah, that was like
it shows the childlike of her, no matter how kind she is.
Like, I gave everything else up, but I kept the balloons for myself. I was like, if you keep the balloons if you want the balloons. Keep your balloons.
I love Kate. She's such a good little character. But you can chat with her, and she starts talking about, hey, you know what? I'm feeling a lot better. I might be able to help you in investigation if you want it. So I'm assuming, because I didn't watch it, Danger probably didn't put her in the way of, hey, will you help us?
No, she did. She did assist.
Okay, so if you assist, so we both did. So if you get the assist later on, all she does is she tells you a little bit of information. You two bond over a little bit more. You learn that Victoria's checked on her, feels bad for everything. She's wanting to draw a new book, draw a new book, and wants Max to take the pictures. It's so sweet. It's such a nice moment. You talk about Warren. Just all the fun stuff. It's good. She's happy. That's all that matters. That's all that matters is this one good character is happy. So anyway, you do all that fun stuff, and you talk to Kate, make sure she's happy. Then you go talk with Frank. So hopefully I'll edit this around. But in the room, you learn all the information you need, and you learn that there's a new party going on. You learn something about a possible dark room-esque thing, sorta, kinda, maybe. So, yeah. You learn the location of it all because it's in a barn.
So go to said barn where this drug deal happened, explore the barn a little bit. It's a really cool thing. And you end up finding a super secret bunker. Ooh. Bust in there.
Not ooh. Very not ooh.
Okay. As of right now, very ooh, because I'm going to sound wrong. You hear it all out before you say anything. The room...
It took me way too long to figure out the puzzle for the thing.
Which puzzle?
The
phone?
Beep, 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 no, the little,
There were three! There were 3 numbers, Danger! Or 4!
I went up to look for a code, and I found 3 series of things that worked for a number. None of them worked. So I was like, oh, what do I do? And then it took me a minute. I was like, oh, the 5 looks a little hard to see.
Man, these numbers look like they've been hit. I wonder if it could be a combination.
Yeah, then I did a few combinations.
So, you're in this room, you look around, and you find all sorts of messed up shit. You find pictures of Rachel Amber. No, I was making sure I have the entire sequence in my head right. Yeah. So you find pictures of Kate. She was in there. You find that Victoria is going to be next. You see an empty file with her name in there. You see that the Prescotts built this. You see information that Nathan theoretically is... The
part that made it the craziest was opening it and seeing all the red binders that we've been seeing for the last 3 episodes.
Yep.
That was cool. That was cool.
Like, just the foreshadowing of it all was grand.
Yep.
And also the foreshadowing was, because we're going to talk about this in a little bit, the foreshadowing early on was great too. You find out that the location was, she was pictures taken of her, then she got dumped, then she had a picture taken of her. In the dump you were in episode 2. And Chloe said, okay, shit, I know what this is. We got to go. So they run. They do everything in their little power. Max is probably rewinding time. Probably not. But to make sure they get there in a timely manner. And they start digging. They find the area that the picture was taken at, and they start digging. And they find Rachel Amber's dead, rotten, buried body in the dirt. To which Chloe breaks down. You haven't played Before the Storm, so not all this means a lot to you. But you're probably never going to play Before the Storm, honestly, unless I say, hey, yes. But it's a very dark, deep moment. It's a big, impactful moment of this whole game. Because we're 3.5 episodes into this whole game. And one of the big plot points is, where's Rachel Amber? She's been under our feet this whole time. She's been murdered. She got killed. We know that. And theoretically, Nathan's the killer. So Chloe comes at Nathan with a vengeance. You know where their meeting is. There's a party that night, a Vortex Club party. It's like End of the World party, I think is what it's actually called specifically.
Yeah.
So you go into this thing. You go to said party. As you're walking up, you see a very, very drunk Warren who's only had 1 cup of beer.
Not even half a cup.
Yeah.
He said he only had half a cup.
And he's like, hey, Max! Ape! So he takes a picture. He's like, let's take a picture. If it's the end of the world, let's take a picture. Click. And then Chloe's like, yeah, fuck you. I got shit to do. And she leaves. She walks off, walks in, then you got to go find her in this party. And actions you do earlier on in the game can lead to how easy it is to get into the Vortex area or how hard it is to get into the Vortex area. You talk to people you know, not Kate, Alyssa, Bella, Stella, Daniel, all these characters. And like, hey, do you know where Nathan is? Probably over in the high dollar area. So you make your way into the high dollar area. However it is you're going to go, we're going to probably go with the assumption of you knew how to get in there. Well, let's go with the assumption you don't know how to go in there. That's easier because not everybody's going to talk to every person on the first playthrough. Yeah. You have to sneak around the pool. You accidentally knock over the DJ system into the pool. You rewind time, then fix it. Yeah, you actually, on the right side of the pool where the windows are, you can go around that thing where the tarp is, the lining is, and you scoot it off, but you accidentally push it and one of the DJ's speakers into the pool. And then the DJ comes buffing as you, hey, the fuck are you doing? And then you just rewind and fix all of it.
I never went over.
It's so funny because all you see is, hey, who killed the music? And you just see Max's eyes peering over the thing. It's just the cartoonish sink down. Yeah, you did it. You did it the right way. I wanted to do it the other way this time. So you go into there and you start trying to find Nathan. And
That's how it's doing the other path. Which I guess with the other path, for the other path, would you have had to talk to the other person prior? Because you could have not talked to them at all.
I mean, talking to him gets
For
you
the
better
list?
better standing.
Yeah, because for the list, because one thing was, because so you were able to just get in there. Because you talked to the person prior for the list, because they were like to get your name on there.
Yeah, no, it all leads up into how you want to do it. Because you could put your name on there or not. You could be in good standing or not. If you're in good standing, it's like, you know what, you get a pass, or you can put your name. It's multiple routes of you can put your name. Is it episode 2? I think it's episode 2 that you can put your name. That what's her name? I cannot remember her name.
I can't remember her name either.
But it's one of Victoria's groupies that you will write your name on there, which is fine if you want to go the route, or you can befriend them and just like, okay, we'll give you a clear. It's just either way, no matter whatever the route is, they let you in through the curtain, and it's like, ooh, fancy. So you find Victoria in here. You talk to Victoria because she's targeted next by Nathan, and you start talking to her. Hey, Victoria, Nathan's a monster. Be careful. I just noticed you have yellow materia. He's a monster. Be careful.
Oh, the picture. I was like, what? I was like, oh, the picture, yeah.
And so she's like, yeah, I don't know, Max. I mean, you're an asshole, but you didn't take a picture of me whenever I spilled paint on myself. Okay. And Nathan has been kind of crazy to the point that even I'm worried about it. Okay. I'll be careful. I will be 100% careful. Thank you, Max. And you know what? You're cool. You're weird, but you're cool. And this is one of those good moments I have, which we're going to talk about at the end of this. So, you find Chloe after all this because Nathan's not there, and you get, I believe it was a voicemail or a text. You get a message from Nathan. It's like, hey, nothing will be there when you get back. To which the two, Thelma and Louise, Max and Chloe, make their way back to the my brain, the junkyard.
Junkyard? You good? Bro, what was that?
My brain, I don't, fucking whatever reason, my brain said pit. And because you dug a pit to get her out. She was buried in a pit. It was like, pit. Fuck. So, you go back to the junkyard, and you start digging up, no, she's still here. And then, Max gets thipped by a needle in her neck. And as she's losing consciousness, Chloe is like, okay, bang. And Chloe gets killed. And that's where episode 4 ends with Mr. Jefferson walking. I was like, oh, Max, you shouldn't have dug deep, girl. And she gets brought to the dark room. And that ends episode 4. And let me tell you, the first time playing it, that was a hell of a twist. Because the whole game, Jefferson, he has his moment. I won't even. He doesn't even have his moment because he had that interaction with Chloe, with Victoria in episode 3 before the pool. But he leans first time through, he seemed like the stoic dude. It's like, yeah, no, don't ever do that again. Go away. And so the fact that he's the big bad was a hell of a twist.
Here's the thing. It was a twist, but because it would have been like the complete opposite, it's why it's like after the needle happened, I was like, it's got to be him. It's got to be him. It doesn't make sense for it to be him. It's got to be him, and it was him. Like in that moment, my brain said it was him, even though I was like, it should have been Nathan. I was like,
it should have been him, me, not him. Come on, Danger. You know that's funny. I stole your joke.
Cool. Go for it. Go.
So, anyway, episode 4 is now done. A lot of big things happen in episode 4. It's probably my least favorite out of all the episodes, I'll be honest with you.
5 is my favorite.
I think 5 was my least favorite.
Polarized, episode 5. So Max wakes up in the dark room. She's strapped to a chair, duct taped to a chair, not wearing all of her stuff. She's missing her pants. And you look to the side, you see Victoria. She got caught too. And you're just trying to figure out whatever's happened. So Victoria wake up trying to talk to her, and she's like, Victoria, what happened? Are you safe? Are you okay? Well, I thought I was. I went to Mr. Jefferson because I told him about Nathan. And the next thing you know, he got me. And then she's duct taped there too. So Max is trying to...
Victoria didn't wake up for mine.
She didn't mind. You talked to her twice.
Oh, okay.
Because here's exactly how it goes. Is you talk to her once, she's like, and falls back asleep. Then, with using some of your max powers, you break your leg out of the duct tape, move a cart over, and you focus on a picture to see what's going on. Because you can rewind time to, or you go back to a time that she had a picture taken of her when she was first in the dark room to see that Mr. Jefferson is a fucking psychopath. He takes pictures of, he drugs women. We'll say women. He will drug women and take pictures of them and then state that they can't do anything. He calls it the most sincere form of purity, which I hate the way he phrases it so damn much. But it's
Absolutely.
the most sincere form of purity. So he's doing that, and all the shit's going on. It's like, don't move, do what I say. And then a little bit more, and you come back to the present. That's when you can talk to Victoria. Is that second time. So, second time through, Victoria wakes up, all that stuff, and then you have to find yet another picture. Let me actually pull this up to make sure I have everything right on this one. Stupid computer. Being slow.
Yeah, there's another. And dude, I'll tell you right now, whenever it was like the scene where she's like the chair and you're looking around the room for the first time, I was like, I've seen this room before in this image, and I've seen this before, and I didn't know what. I was looking around, I was thinking, and I was like, I remember that this room was during a time where you had to rewind for the. This is the game it came from, because like I remembered the clip with that happens later in the game, where you rewind time in the room, and I was like, this is the game that it's from. Oh, because I remember that. I remember that was the first time I saw the concept of this game. That was the first clip I've ever seen, was that room during that sequence.
Yeah, I'm so glad you saw the ending of it before anything else.
Well, I had no idea about it. I had no idea what... I didn't know it was even from, so...
Do you hear him?
I don't hear Minion, no.
He is upset that I'm not letting him in this room. So yeah. Anyway, you come back to normal reality. Unfortunately, normal reality. You come back to reality, and the picture's changed to a new picture. It is back to the picture that Max took of herself in Jefferson's classroom at the beginning of the game. And you go back there and you see everything going on one more time. Because your plan is right now, warn somebody. Tell Madsen. Tell Chief of Police Madsen what's going on. So go back in time, do your stuff, find his number, text it in the thing to get prepared for everything.
I heard him that time.
Yeah, he's loud tonight. But do everything you ever said that, and then you go through the day, sort of go through it as if everything's normal. And I like this part. We're going to talk about Kate again. You can take her picture. You can talk to her and take her picture. And she's the first character in the entire game to acknowledge somebody takes a picture of her. Like that, you take a picture of them. Did you do that?
Take a picture of Kate?
Whenever you're in the room for like the first, second, third, or like for the first time in episode 5, you know. The flashback for the first time going to the room, you can talk to Kate. And you tell everything, hey, Kate, be strong. Life will be great. You're perfect. Fuck everybody else. And then you could take a picture of her. And Kate acknowledges she pose. You take the camera thing and Kate's like, oh, And she smiles like, "Oh my god, it's so sweet."
I haven't seen that. No, I didn't know you could do that.
Now you gotta play through it again to do it.
No.
Only episode 5. It's not far into episode 5. You can just restart episode 5 and go do it. It's sweet.
No, because it doesn't matter.
It does matter. It's Kate. You even said she's the best character in here. Are you? So yeah, make sure she's happy. Danger.
He is happy. Because it doesn't matter what I do with it.
So anyway, you could talk to Jefferson one more time, and you essentially hint that, hey, I know there's something wrong with you. And I want to bring this up because I made mention earlier on that it gets hinted at. It gets foreshadowed very early that Jefferson is actually the big bad if you know what's going on. Like episode 1.
Oh yeah, like everything he said, like it's after you do it, then everything clicks. Like when he's saying it, and you now know the context.
Yeah. And he's like, I'll pose you in a dark room where you're at your most vulnerable state. Something like, I'll take a picture of you in your most vulnerable state. And it's like, damn. This game had it planned from the beginning. That is immaculate.
And dude, what like one thing where he mentions like a dark corner, and whenever you're in that room, the corner over there is dark. I don't even know why that's the case. Like it's just the energy or the evil, I guess, just a representation of the evil there. But it's
that's another reason I like this game. Is the foreshadowing is great if you know what you're looking for. So anyway, you confront Jefferson. And he gets found out by everybody because he's telling Madsen, "Hey, go here, look at this." So everything changes. Jefferson gets arrested. Madsen does all his stuff and saves the day. And then Max wins the Everyday Heroes contest, going out to wherever it is, Seattle, Washington, one of the two, Seattle, Washington. I'm an idiot. But Washington, she goes somewhere. She flies out to the thing. And because she won with Wells as a thing. And I like this part because we hate Wells. Every episode prior to this, we hate Wells. He's such a dick. But the reason I like this game so much is the characters. And so Wells does well in this one. He's like, you know what, Max? I should have seen the signs. I am sorry. I needed to be a little better. I need to do better at my job. I need to do more thorough stuff. So anything that happened is entirely on me, and I understand that. So you go into this big old gallery and see all these pictures everybody else has taken. See Max's name. Talk to him for a little bit. And he's like, you know what? Call me Ray. Just for today. You're an adult right now. You are my equal. You've earned it. Which is so cool. It's really cool. I don't know if you talked to him or not, or just wanted to get out of there.
Oh, you're talking about like when he walks off and then you could go talk to him again?
Yeah, you can talk to him again.
Yeah,
he's like, this caviar's not going to eat itself.
I was gonna talk to him like afterwards because I thought he was the way that I'd leave, and then by the time I did the way you are supposed to leave, then I wasn't able to talk to him again. So.
Yeah, basically, he's just like, good job, Max.
Yeah.
You did well. You are an adult. Enjoy it. These will be your peers. You've deserved it. Call me Ray as opposed to Wells. Just while we're on our trip. That way, because you are my equal. And he also talks about dreams he had and all this stuff. And yeah, it's good. It's good character growth for him. So do all the stuff. Find Max's picture, and I love that picture of herself with all of her pictures in front of it. I genuinely like that picture. That's such a cool picture. So, as you do that, everybody's acknowledging that, and you then get a phone call. You see that you have a missed call from Chloe. It's like, oh, hey, I wonder how things are doing. Let's go check up on her. So, you call her, and the tornado's hitting! Big bad tornado. Max! Tornado! Vision! You're right! Save me! To which Max is like, well, shit. And also, this is a good part of this thing, and I want to stop right here, because this right now is already kind of showing what's going to happen later on. Mm-hmm. Because the choice you make now is very important, very imperative to what's really going to happen, and I like that this game has a lot of hinting going on. So, you decide, okay, Chloe, I will save you. I'll stop everything I'm doing, and I will save Chloe. You are important to me. So Max looks at her picture, rewinds time to the moment she took the picture, she rips it, and things go back to how it is, go back to normal. She then she goes to a normal time, back into everything going on, and sees that Jefferson's back and has burnt the pictures, which is bad, very, very bad.
Yeah, he got mad that there was such a good picture, and because his whole thing's about the fascination of pictures and whatnot. And he's psychotic about it, so he got mad that she ripped up the picture. It was a good picture. She ripped it up, and he went insane over it. It's like, this was such a good picture, and you destroyed it. Why? And then he went on a little episode.
Yep.
He was like, sorry for my outburst.
The way you said that, you reminded me of Dr. House.
Oh, Dr. House. Yeah, okay.
So, you have this, and he's sitting there monologuing, evil villain monologuing. He's like, all right, we'll make this quick. Wait, where's Victoria? And Victoria's gone, too. Which is sad, because Jefferson killed Victoria. Just did whatever he did to her and killed her. And Max is next. So he's walking to the back of the room to grab a syringe to inject whatever poison in there. And as it's going on, you hear the door open as you're about to be pinned with a needle. And this part was fun because you could do it so wrong, and it's so funny if you do it wrong.
This part is the second funnest part of the game. Yeah.
Because you're now...
It's actually enjoyable, yeah.
You're now stuck in a little puzzle. So, David... Chief of Police David Danger. This is why I've called him Chief of Police, is because he does all of his investigative stuff, and he's come to save you. No matter what situation you do, if you're an ass to him, his good-hearted nature to want to help people will come save you, because I was a dick to him the entire game. Mm-hmm. So, Chief of Police David comes in the room, and Jefferson's picked up the tripod legs, thwacks him. Okay, let's rewind time and say, David, watch out! So that happens. He can, fight happens with there, and then David gets knocked out again. So it's like, okay, let's do this time. And it's just back and forth puzzle until you get the right sequence of stuff.
I was stuck on that for a second because I didn't know I had to go all the way back, and then you were able to ask him a question. I didn't know you were able to do that.
You didn't have to. That's just the option to get the last, one of the last photos.
No, I did, because you're supposed to ask for water, and he moves the table closer to you, so you're able to kick it, because the table's away from you. You have to get it closer to kick it.
You don't have to use the table, Danger.
What do you do? Because then he whacks him a second time.
And
I literally looked around the whole room. I'm like, what do you do? I looked around the whole room.
You can do all that. He will win a second time through, because you can whack him a second time, and you can actually distract him. I'll make sure I have everything right. Let's see here. Warn him. Grab the camera and throw it at Jefferson. That's what it was. He has a camera that David can pick up and throw it at Jefferson, causing Jefferson to run to the other side of the room to grab a gun to shoot David. You don't have to push anything to stop him.
Oh, no, well, because when you went to go hit David a second time, but yeah, I guess, yeah.
No, you tell David to throw a camera. That's the second thing, is as they're both kind of knocked off, then he throws the camera.
Okay, but then that'd be the picture one. That'd still be... You still had to go all the way back to do a question thing. Because then you would have moved the... So, yeah, again... So
the camera was there, by the way. Camera was there. Yeah, like in that area? Yeah, because it's on the couch. Weird. Jefferson walked this way. Their fight happened this way. So the stuff was already where it was.
Weird. I don't know. It was. I don't know. It never popped up for me or anything, and I looked around everywhere and multiple times. It was weird. I don't know.
So
I don't know why
anyway, you have then you get the gun. Then it's like, okay, this is a fun part. Is you can tell David, kick the table, and he's all stern. Yes, sir. Kicks it. Bam.
That is the reason that I remember. Huh? Okay, that's the reason that I remembered this room was that clip. I remember that clip was popular, and it was like rewinding time. Like I remember, all I remember was this room rewinding time for the scenario, right? That's all I remember. Oh, the little puzzle thing. But then it was like, kick the table, yes sir.
They just look at it.
That's the only thing I remember. So whenever I saw the room for the first time, first time going there, I was like, I swear I've seen this room before. oh, and then yeah, I was like, yeah, so it clicked. But yeah,
I love those moments where you see like a random scene from a movie or anime or
like, why
game.
did I see this? Like, I swear I've seen this before, and then it finally clicks. But
So-
it didn't spoil anything though. It didn't spoil anything that I didn't know.
So anyway, we're going into a lot more detail than we need to. Anyway, Jefferson gets apprehended and he gets freaking sucker punched by David and knocked unconscious. David saves you, and you're like, "Thank you, David. Why are you thanking me? You told me everything was here. Of course I had to do this. It's my civil duty as the chief of police." Danger was correcting me the first episode every time I said it, so I have to. It's chief of police because he's a good dude. He's a good dude, Danger.
See the chief of police
He is now.
now.
Yeah, now. So I was saying now. Every time I was saying it, it was now. Not a then, it was a now.
No spoilers.
Danger, I don't care. You never knew.
Spoilers.
So,
It was
anyway, then he gets you all free and you start talking to us. Okay, I'm sorry that I'm an asshole to you. Joyce is good to me. I love her. I love Chloe. I do the best I can for them. I'm sorry I was a dick to you. I shouldn't have been. I just wanted to keep all you guys safe. And so he's like, all right, so you're wherever you are, Chloe's not far behind. Do you know where Chloe is? And another dark moment. What did you pick? Because you have the option... Huh?
you can tell you either tell him or say like you don't know or
That she's off smoking weed is what that happened pretty much.
Oh, okay.
That's what the other option is. If you say, I don't know where she is. Like, she went off to smoke weed. And he's like, you know what?
I told him what happened.
Okay. And I kind of did both of it. He's like, for the first time ever, I'm so glad that girl smokes weed. But this is one of my favorite moments in the game because the voice acting gets really good. The voice acting's been good in this game, but David's voice actor does a tremendous job of the heartbreak. He's like, you...
That's one of my most favorite scenes, like, in the game. That, like, with him. That's one of my most favorites of the entire game.
And I'll probably clip it in now.
Is dead.
This isn't happening. It can't. No, God. Not Chloe. Max, are you sure? Are you...
Yes, I saw her. I saw Jefferson kill her in the junkyard. Last night.
Last night? When I was feeling sorry for myself in my hotel room? I promised Joyce that I would protect her and Chloe. How can I face her and explain this? I never even told Chloe that I... God damn it! You killed my wife's child, you sick fucker! And you took away my stepdaughter?
Not all of it. I'll clip it in some of it right now because it is such a good moment. The voice acting is done superb. It's so good. The heartbreak in his voice, the actual sadness, then to just the stern. Because he's like, you know what, Max? You don't need to see this. Turn away. Pulls out his gun and just shoots Jefferson. Dead in his tracks. Well, dead in whatever tracks he was in because he wasn't moving. And he falls to the ground. He's crying. David's just crying. He's upset. He couldn't protect his wife's kid. He couldn't protect his kid. Max then has the option to rewind, go the other route, which is, like I said, he's like, okay, it's fine. I'm glad she smokes weed for the first time ever, but we're going to go with the death route. So, continue on. You need to find Warren, because Warren has a picture the night that everything went south, which was probably that night, actually. Like a few hours prior. Theoretically, a few hours prior. And you want to rewind time. Sorry, my buddies are... I'm going to turn my phone the other way. My buddies are messaging me now. They're wanting to play Enlisted, and I don't want to play. So, you go find Warren. You message Warren like, hey, Warren, where are you? Hey, I'm at the Two Whales Diner. Be careful. There's a tornado outside. Which is forthcoming. Everything was showing. So you start walking through the town, and I maybe I'm awful because I've noticed I'm liking the destroyed parts of games. They all the detail that goes into them. Because 7 Remake, whenever you're on Midgar, like at the beginning of the game when the Midgar is destroyed, the sector plate fell. It looks great. Whenever you're actually climbing up and you see that sector 7 itself fell, I love that still shot. So I think maybe I'm either awful or I really like the attention to detail to the world. Danger, what am I?
You're both. Here's the thing. It's
Okay.
awful they like it, but also it's not a basic, super nice looking scenery. It's that someone put in work to what would it look like if it got destroyed, and they probably went the extra mile to make sure it was accurate to how it would actually look if it was destroyed. So you probably are just fascinated by that and by seeing what it looks like. It's a thing that a lot of people... It's the same reason where so many people would be like, oh no, a wreck happened. Wonder what's going on. Instead of like just driving by, they're just like, oh, that's
Well, that's
so
human
horrible.
fascination. That's not so much that. That's just human fascination. We are very
Yeah,
nosy
that's
creatures.
what I'm saying.
So, anyway, you gotta walk around a little bit of not a destroyed part because you gotta walk over essentially like 100 yards of destroyed Arcadia Bay, which is really cool. I do like the attention to detail because you can save a lot of people. You can save Evan. You can save Alyssa for one last time. You save some random fisherman dude.
I didn't see Alyssa.
So whenever you first walk in the area, you have Evan over here. He gets whacked by a sign.
Yes, I know that.
On the right, you see Alyssa standing in the house, the top of a house, just like staring outward. You walk closer, like, Max, help me! And you save her.
I did not see. No, I saved her every single time except the one time.
Yep, the one time it matters. The one time it matters. Yeah, now you're sitting here cursing yourself because part of you slowly want to do everything right. Not much. Part of you is. This is the fact. I know.
Go on.
So, anyway, you also get to save a fisherman, too. I hope you save the fisherman.
Yeah.
Good. Because this panic has ensued. Everything is going wrong. So, make your way through it all, the carnage and destruction, to Two Whales Diner, where you can talk to Frank, you can talk to Joyce, and you talk to Warren. You talk to Frank, you tell him, hey, Rachel Amber is dead. To which he gets all upset. He's like, this is my light. She was my love. I can't believe it. So, Frank's showing a lot more character. So, who did it? Jefferson, he's dead now. Great. You talk to Joyce. And Joyce is like, I don't know where Chloe is. And I wish... One true complaint I had is I wish you had the option to tell Joyce Chloe's dead right then and there.
Yeah, my only thing, I wish you did have that choice because the whole thing's about choosing. And so this way you kind of don't really have a choice to say yes or no. This kind of removes it. But I will say, after literally everything that's going on, this character who's already so broken with everything, this character is one of the most broken down characters. I think we could... I don't think it's that big of a problem due to the fact that already so much has happened. The last thing Max would want to do is have all this stuff happen and then just put the cherry on top of, the worst thing.
I mean, let's say the theory of that Arcadia Bay doesn't make it. You'd want Joyce to know what's happened to her daughter, not die.
I do agree with that. That's why I told David about it, because I was like, man, things are already screwed. Like, this is happening. Probably going to rewind time again. So I mean, might as well let them know.
Yeah. So that's why
now literally any decision I've made, I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and that's why it's all sad. It is very sad at this moment. That's my biggest complaint I have is something like that, you can't say anything. Talk to Joyce.
I do say about that. The whole thing about making a choice and they don't give you that choice at all, I do agree with that.
So, you talk to Joyce, she's like, you know what, Max, I'm glad you came back into our lives. She's all happy about it. She's being a mother to Max at this moment because her parents aren't near there, so she's just pulling in the motherly instinct. I love Joyce. She's a good character.
Every character in this game is good because I forgot one thing. One very crucial thing. I love this scene. I love it, and I don't know how I forgot it. On the way driving, because you steal Jefferson's car. You take Jefferson's car. He's dead, so you don't steal it.
Yeah.
You take Jefferson's car, and you have one voicemail. And this voicemail is from Nathan. Nathan is warning Max of Jefferson. He is apologizing for everything he did.
Message received yesterday at 9 p.m.
Max, it's Nathan. I just wanted to say I'm sorry. I didn't want to hurt Kate or Rachel or I didn't want to hurt anybody. Everybody used me. Mr. Jefferson is coming for me now. All this shit will be over soon. Watch out, Max. He wants to hurt you next. Sorry.
And this is where I would say, whenever I said it was episode, I don't know who I told it to, whether we were in an episode of this or we were just chatting in general, but I would not put Nathan as the worst character in this game ever.
Yeah, no, you did mention that. And I'm like, how? Like, I was like, how? And I was like, is it the principal that you're... Is it David? I was like, how? And I didn't know.
Jefferson 100%, but
yeah.
Nathan is one of... He's a broken character, which is we're going to get into all that in a bit.
He's still second place.
I'm forgiving it. I will forgive. Because we'll go into more detail of it when it comes down to it. But anyway,
you really have to because you can continue.
So anyway, he basically says that, and then you cut to everything. So you talk to Warren, and Warren's like, "Hey Max, I guess it is Supermax. I guess it is the end of the world, huh? Yeah, Warren, I might be able to fix things. Let me see that picture you have of us on the night of the party. Why? Just trust me, okay." So you then have an option of like saying, "Hey, you're a good person. I love you," or kissing him. And you know what?
There's you just leave. You don't even do all that. There's hug. There's leave, friend zone, and hey. those are your
hey.
three.
Yeah.
Those are your three options.
So
what'd you go with?
Oh, I kissed.
Hey.
Because it all adds into it. Because I'm thinking of it pulling into the thing. Let's say Warren dies. He dies happy.
Yeah.
And that's one thing as I've grown up. Death is okay as long as a person dies happy. And that's all that I was wanting to happen with this game, is the person dies happy.
Yeah, because then you don't know what else is going to happen.
Mm-hmm. And that's also why, we'll go into this. I'm not going to talk into this in the episode, but I'll tell Danger why I act as I am. There's a reason I act the way I am, as an asshole towards everybody. An actual reason. Not just me being a dick. There's a true reason. But anyway,
background.
You get Warren's picture, and you go back to the night whenever the party at the end of the world, and you see Chloe, and you're in another little boss battle. Theoretically, not as much as Frank, but you have to say the right sequence to her so she does not go off on her own, because that's what causes everything to happen. These two stick together. We say whatever you want to say whatever needs to get said, and Chloe stays by your side, and then it cuts back to present moment, and Chloe, you're on the beach, and boom, Chloe's right next to you. It's like, Chloe, you're alive! Also, one thing in this which is sad, and I wish it was expanded on a little bit more, is Max admits that she went to another reality, killed William, and killed Chloe. I wish that was expanded more. Like, one thing, I don't have a lot of issues with this game to the point that I would rank it, but I wish it was expanded more.
Oh, okay. I thought I was like, wait, did you not get that dialogue at all? Okay, I get it. You wish it was expanded more on that, yeah.
Because
it was mentioned, yeah. And
it was mentioned.
That part it was mentioned. They talked about it and stuff.
But
I feel like it. Yes, talked about more would have made sense. But I mean, they kind of got the point across, and also they were kind of on a tight.
I know they were on a tight schedule, but I still feel like in that kind of moment, that should have been a big, crucial part. Is
it
you
did seem big.
like you killed my dad, and you killed me, like, you know. I wish I had more.
Yeah, well, maybe for that, sure, but I also didn't kill. I said I couldn't do it, and then
I'm using me for. I'm using me. It's like because
but,
you know.
And then I said I
Or
wasn't
hell,
able to.
you killed my dad.
Yeah, even that. But one thing is. Yeah, she like understood. She tried to change time to fix it, but then by fixing it, she did all of this. And
Chaos
all
theory.
that way was on her. Yeah, Chloe completely understood it, and then and I even like so Max told Chloe that like I wasn't able to do it. You wanted me to like go ahead and end you, but I wasn't able to. And then your hair stuff spiked. But then she was like I could not even imagine like the weight of that, like all of that, but then that question was on you, like it was heavy. They were in a very deep moment there.
They were, and I wish it was expanded upon a bit more. So
that would
Anyway, you're on the beach, looking at everything, and you are trying to decide what you need to do. And so the only thought they have is to go up to the
lighthouse.
Yep.
And then we have probably my least favorite sequence of the entire game.
To which Max blacks out.
Yeah.
And it fucks with everything. Her time travel shit has fucked up a lot of stuff. Good, bad, otherwise. It has done a lot. So you are now in a horror sequence.
Yeah.
You are being hunted down by Shadow Jefferson. You are reliving choices you've made.
Continue.
You're we'll call it the Shadow Realm. Truly the Shadow Realm.
That works. That works.
Of you looking through every area you've been in, school, the junkyard, everything, while being hunted by Shadow Jefferson. You get found. It's nothing. You just rewind. This is one of those times I wish the rewind did not work. Is because it should have become a stealth game. It's, you know, we early on in episode 3, stealth.
I do agree with that. I agree that the rewind should not have been there.
Yeah, because you're in like little lockers and all that stuff. You got to go around. Just timing wise, it should have been a true on stealth sequence as you traverse through all this. Anyway, so going with we'll just go through it. Is you do have that. You have a sequence where you walk through the hallways in an endless loop, having to pick out the right doors. Again, you kind of traverse as you play as Victoria. You wear Max wearing Rachel Amber's clothes. You take pictures of giant squirrels. It's all weird stuff.
The giant squirrels. I don't know about that one. I didn't do that one.
It's one of the pictures. I think that was... No, it wasn't. I got my first ever platinum on stream with this game.
I'm not doing that. I do remember there was a giant whale outside.
It's in that loop.
Dead.
It's in that loop. You can actually see two giant squirrels out that window.
It'd probably be outside, yeah. I feel like maybe I saw that. I feel like maybe I saw a giant eye, but I remember definitely seeing...
It's two squirrels at the back just doing stuff.
Two giant squirrels dancing.
Doing the crab rave.
Yeah, just... Oh, but yeah, I remember seeing a giant whale outside. I was like, was that an eye? And I looked outside.
So anyway, yeah, you do that. We're all there. Then you have... Well, then you have the reverse. Look through everything, which is really funny with that because everything's reversed, even the music. Even the song from the beginning of the game is playing in reverse.
Yeah. I thought what was gonna happen was it was also gonna like show like the intro of the game and the name.
That would have been
like,
good.
Square Enix was backwards. All the names are backwards and everything.
Yeah, that's all it was. I would have loved it.
When you walk, your even though you're walking forward, your animation's playing backwards. But yeah, and then you
just walk backwards. Everything's the same way. You just walk backwards.
Yeah, you just walk backwards.
So then after that, then you have the Shadow Jeffersons.
Yeah, which
right now I like is this whole time Shadow Jefferson's belittling Max the entire time, talking down on her. Your art is bad. You're never gonna be a photographer. Nobody likes you. You also can take your final picture. Not the final picture, but took a picture. I took a picture. You can take a picture of Warren's locker, and I got my first ever PlayStation 5 Platinum. It's so cool to see the platinum. It blooms like a flower.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. That part's cool.
So, make your way through all the Shadow Jefferson stuff, then you start running into other people. You run into Samuels, run into Wells, run into Warren. I don't know why those three are there. Never understood why those three are there. Shadow Jefferson's okay, but the Shadow Samuel? Why? Shadow Warren? Why?
Just people just turn, like... Because it is one thing is as we go to the next sequence, it's basically just everyone's kind of turning on you. Just literally everyone was turning on them.
Then you'd think it would have had more characters than that. Like all the characters, like every character theoretically. That's why I didn't care for that. But anyway, do that, then you have to find a little area, they have to pick up the bottles, everything's good. Take your last picture of the episode. And then you wake up in the diner. Then you're at the diner. Mm-hmm. And the diner is my favorite part of this whole episode.
The diner's pretty cool.
Because what this diner does is everything you've done in this game, every character you've talked to, had any interaction with, is in this diner. And as you walk past them, they talk to you and they are begging, "Hey Max, don't kill us." Some are saying, "Hey, don't kill us." It's like, "Oh, I'm so glad we're friends now." Or, "Hey, I can't believe this is the way things are going to go out." It's good. I love that moment. It's a heavy, because through the entirety of it, there's at least some background ambiance the entire time. This part is dead quiet. Not a single drop of music, nothing. And that's why I like it so much, is it makes you weigh in everything you've done over the past 10 hours, 11 hours prior. And Danger's probably going to have a different opinion on it to come the end. But this is a good solidification of the game itself. That everything comes to one moment and everything starts to hit hard. Because once you do this, you talk to yourself, and she's like, "Hey, you in this diner, you can talk to Max." Another Max like, "Who are you?" "I'm you." "Duh, obviously, idiot." Stupid. And it's like, "Well, what do you do? Why you do it?" "Well, you're fucking with time." "Why?" "Well, I wanted to be popular. I wanted to be popular." You kind of disagree. It's like, you want it to be popular. "Yeah." "Chloe's in trouble." "Yeah." "Everyone's gonna die. You realize that?" "Probably." And so then she hands her a picture. And it is the picture of the butterfly from the beginning of the game.
The whole thing,
so
if you wanted to.
After the diner, then you have Chloe coming in to rescue you. And then you walk through, because these characters, and I like that. This is the whole part I like so much about this, is you have the diner, all these characters that you've weighed in and come to love and come to like. Then you do with Chloe the exact same thing, going through every single choice you've made, interaction with her, big interaction, bonding moment through the entire game. And it is done exceptionally well. Because, at least for me, is it makes you weigh in on everything you've done, because you realize what's about to happen. I did anyway when I first played it. You realize what's about to happen. I don't know if you did or not.
At the moment, no. At the moment, I was just going through it.
So, anyway, you go through all this stuff, and then you wake up at the lighthouse. With Chloe is like, "Max, you're here. What do we do?" And Max is like all kind of freaking out, and then Chloe starts kind of realizing stuff, because it's like, I don't know what to do. The tornado's gonna hit. We're in trouble. Anything I've done, I couldn't stop it. And so then Chloe is like, "Hey, Max, what if I'm the issue? What if it's not you being around? What if it's you interacting with me is what caused everything bad to happen?" And so Max is like, "Hey, I don't think you're right." "Well, what if I am?" "You know what, Max? These last few days have been the greatest of my life. I'm glad we got to be friends again." And you then have the option from Chloe to kill Chloe a second time, if you chose my route, to kill Chloe or kill Arcadia Bay. Save Chloe or save Arcadia Bay. And this is where I love how the end of this game goes, because we're at the end of the game. And we're going to go, and we'll go into both endings, because I'm sure Danger doesn't care if I tell the other ending or not that he didn't get.
So it was at this moment here where I looked at the screen, And when that happened, I shut off my PS5. So I don't know if... No, I didn't shut off my PS5. But at that moment, I was just like... Like, I was there for, like, maybe a minute. I was just sitting there just screaming for maybe a minute. And I already knew whatever I chose, I wasn't going to be able to rewind whatever I chose. So I was thinking about it the whole time for a moment, just thinking. Legitimately, like, a minute or maybe 2 minutes.
So, the reason this one, I like this ending, before we go into the actual ending of it, is it shows everything you've done. And this is a perfect trolley example, a perfect trolley situation. And for those that don't know, the trolley situation is you have a track going on, you have one person, you have this, let's say your mother on the right side, on one track tied to the train track, and on the left side you have your 5 best friends. One of which has to die. Who do you kill? And that's why this game handles it really well. That's what it's leading you into with talking to every person you talk to. Like saying, like, everybody's like, hey, please, no. It's reminding you of all the friends you've made along the way. I made a joke to Danger at the beginning of this. It's about the journey. It's not the ending, it's about the journey. To which he's literally promptly said, fuck you. But it is the journey in this game.
Pretty much legitimately fucking no.
Like, this is the journey. And it leads up to, how do you want your journey to end? Do you care more about the hundreds of people you met and their lives you saved, the people you saved, the friends you've made along the way? Or are you going to throw it all away for one person that may have made you happier than the rest of them, but it's 50 different happies versus one happy? What option are you going to take?
Here's my problem. Well, I'll say which one I went with first. I went with killing Chloe. That was the natural order of things. That was the thing that would fix everything. That was what would happen to make sure that none of the events happened. Of the chaos, right? So we went with that. Bless you.
I was coughing that season.
Oh, it looks like you sneezed. So you could choose that. I don't even know what happens if you choose Arcadia Bay. Or if you choose to let Arcadia Bay die. I assume it just dies.
Arcadia Bay dies. You and Chloe drive through Arcadia Bay seeing all the destruction. And then it cuts to credits.
Man.
And I chose this one. The first time I did, this was a full-on, like, I sat there and I thought about, because first time I played it, I used to have a lot more people I cared about in my life than I do now, so it became a really hard situation. And I threw my niece in there, because she's right now, one of the most important people in my life. I love her to death. And then I threw my high school buddies. And it's one of those of, like, what is the right situation? You spend all this time with this one. You know her better than everybody else. You know her, she's like the back of your hand. You know her that well. But then at the exact same time, are you really going to throw away hundreds of people for one person? As important as they are to you, are you really going to damn hundreds of people? Let's say 500,000 people there. Not that many. Let's say 500,000 people. Are you going to damn 500,000 people to keep one person alive because they make you feel better than the rest of them do? You've touched their lives as much as you've touched hers. You just interacted with her a lot more. So, what is the right option? And this is what it comes of it, is it all depends on your character. 100%. Like, my first time option, I chose to save Arcadia Bay. Because it's realistically the right option. So then I also, that same one, couldn't even live with it because you fall in love with the character of Chloe. And so I rewound my first ever playthrough and I killed Arcadia Bay to save my one person. And if I'll be on, and I prefer that ending to it because it's sad. It's sad, but it's the right kind of sad, I guess, is the right way to phrase it. Because no matter what, you are happy. you are happy with the choice. And this is back, Danger said, I'm an asshole. I have the reason I'm an asshole. I'll tell Danger this after. But I like this ending because you will make yourself happy over other people. And yes, it sounds awful. 100% sounds awful. I don't disagree. But I like Max feeling happier being with the person she cares about and being able to go live a whole new life as opposed to her suffering in anguish, killing her friend theoretically twice, all the shit she's been through being for naught, which is going to be a complaint Danger has. You went through all this. Why make it all for naught? All right. Bitch, I know you're about to.
Oh. Boy, am I. So,
don't pull your shirt at me, you son of a bitch.
Let me tell you right now. This game sucks. Let me explain why before it's like, oh, it's bad. Animation looks great. Storytelling, amazing. For the most part. Most of the parts really good. So number one thing, why? Why is there this dark evil? The one thing, right, is the whole time we are led to believe that these powers give you the ability to do good. Because there is so much evil going on. And you were able to fix a bunch of the problems. You were able to fix so many of the things. We thought we were trying to prevent all of these horrible things from happening. All we were doing was creating them because we were trying to fix a bunch of the problems that already existed. Instead of fixing problems, we were building the problem, sort of just storing the problem away. Here's the thing that bothers me the most. One of the biggest problems, which seemed to be, literal entity thing, chaos, evil, literal massive horrible thing, which then was led to show to be like the boss, the literal final boss that messed with your mind and time and stuff, would have happened no matter what. It would have continued no matter what. The only thing, so let me put it this way. In the game, if you pick to let Chloe die, she gets shot like at the beginning of the game and she falls down dead. Nathan gets arrested. Nathan goes to confess. Nathan's gonna talk about the stuff that's happened. Then I promise you, especially if he's in that type of a scenario to where he wants an escape, he's already in jail, he's already behind bars, there's no lower you can really go. He would 100% would have told about Jefferson. He 100% would. Why would he not? He's one thing, it was his fear of needing an escape. Now he's in trouble. He's realizing the weight of his actions. He 100% in almost every single scenario that would have happened would have told about what happened. Especially already if Nathan killed someone and Kate did go to the police. Kate would have talked about everything that happened. If they figured it out, she would have 100% gone to the police, especially if Nathan was convicted of killing someone and it was proven he was already bad. He's already behind bars. Now all you're doing is you're giving information that was said. So both would have still ended up in jail. Max loses their friend. Everyone else would have been pretty much fine. Kate would have still gotten help regardless of what would happen. Yes, situations could have turned out better, but down the line, Nathan showing how bad of a person he is, everyone within his circle would have realized, hey, kind of messed up. One thing that would have changed is Max being a more positive person, a more outgoing positive person, which, yes, that can change a lot of people's lives. It's why I try to keep that ethic when I'm in public and with people. I try to keep that positive, sort of outlook, because who knows, me just telling someone to have a good day could change an entire mood. You never know. But the problem is with this entire game, you have the two choices. Fix everything for it just to be wiped away, or let the person die and you aren't able to fix anything that happens with your time doers and whatnot. And let's say a certain outcome's different, because guess what it is? They're talking, step on a flower and things can change drastically. A person died. A person went to jail. A person got committed of horrible actions. so much is going to change, and you don't have to rewind from there. So potentially, a lot of the problems won't even be fixed. The only difference that there is in the game afterwards is either Arcadia Bay gets destroyed, which that shouldn't have happened, but at least there was a more positive outlook, or your friend died to begin with. The only difference we have is that Max is a brighter person. That is the only difference, because literally this entire game, we get the journey, we get to see Chloe have this journey, but in a sense, isn't that just more dreadful to Max to know that could have happened? And it was all for literally nothing. Yes, there's the journey you can have, but in the sense that it's happened, the journey never existed. In this reality you live in, that never existed. You now know the what if, but you're going to have to live knowing what could have happened for the rest of your life. It is a game that is already it's going off of real problems, which the way I see games, by the way, here's the thing about me in gaming, I see it as an escape. I love whenever games talk about realistic topics, right? Like, one thing is, like, how deep The Last of Us gets. That's why I love that game so much, because it gets deep, it gets real, and it has emotion. It's why I love the game. A lot of games get very real. At least there's some form of fantasy that you're able to enjoy. What this game did that basically made it hate it to the extent that I do is that now you know the fantasy of what if. In the end, you know what could have happened, which you could have already thought of. Now you know it literally could have. You had the power to make that happen. You had to now choose not just the good path that could have happened, but a path where you did even worse. Your own reality. And now literally everything you did not matter. And you're going to have to live with that forever. And nothing you did mattered. You know the what ifs. And you're stuck. Didn't matter. The only thing that could have changed it slightly, right? Let's say for scenario, for some reason, Nathan doesn't give in. Which I think he does. Clearly, after talking with Max, he was already having thoughts. He was already regretting it. He was already dreading it. So already, he definitely was a person who would have confessed. So it didn't matter in the end. And if anything, it is far worse and far sad than if nothing else happened. If she never got powers, a lot would have been different. Not honestly, not different. A lot would have been not different. All the differences is in this thing. It's gone. A lot of the things that did changes with Max. And if Max screws up afterwards, yeah, you can't undo it. That's what we already know. So at least there's the fantasy of you could try to fix things and we can see a different outcome and we can know. And sure, there's going to be something that maybe near the end of the game, I don't know, like there's some way to, like the however bad things happens depends on what you fix or whatnot in certain events. But it's like, no, you're stuck down to 1 or 2. And even then, it's just, it's really, I really do not like it. I really don't. And it's a lot of... You've been on that. You've been holding that for a minute. You looked at the button, saw that, and you were like, the moment he's done, I'm pushing that button.
It's on that and the golf clap. I didn't know what was funnier. I was waiting. Okay, it's your turn, but not. It was one of two situations where you're gonna play like, okay, I didn't like it, or all right, hey, your turn, and I was gonna do the applause.
Man, I had 2 choices. Man, can I go back and pick the other one? No.
Oh, come on! Come on! You know that's fun. You know it. That was perfect comedic timing.
It was amazing. Perfect. Yes, it's definitely a mood shifter. Yes, but I will say this game had an absolutely amazing concept. As much hate to admit it, it had really good story writing. The gameplay was bad. There was no gameplay. It's a storytelling game.
Yeah, it's a narrative.
Yeah. But I didn't enjoy this game. I didn't really enjoy it. It was an interesting experience. The more I played it, the more I dreaded playing it, and I wanted it to be over. And I felt no sense of there wasn't something there that I could be like I'm happy with this. There wasn't that moment. And that's a very real thing that a lot of people feel already. And I've now spent hours on this game hoping and trying for the best outcome just for it to not matter.
Yep, I told you weren't going to like the ending. I told you weren't going to like it.
You did. You warned me. It's the only game you've warned me about, so yeah. So the fact that you told me there was a second game you warned me about, we're not playing that game. Silent Hill, the other one you said.
Well, here's the thing: if you because the topics you didn't like, because that one's more real than this one.
Yeah, this game in a sense is real. It's real.
Take out the time travel. Take out the time travel. This is 100% a real situation.
That's what I'm saying. Take out the time travel. It is 100% real. That's what I'm saying. So it's fair. It was very dark, very hard story, and it was dreadful to play. It was very sad to play. That's why I gripped on as much hope as I could and all good I could do. Because guess what? I'm still trying. It just didn't matter. And so that part really sucks.
And that's how some games get, is not all of them are happy.
Nope.
But the game itself, I highly rate. He's going to do opposite. I'll let him go first, and I'll end it on mine.
I'm not going to give it a low rating. But I'm not giving it a low rating. I'm giving this game a 6.
Okay. You are giving it a low rating, though.
Yes. Me personally, yes. But for a game, it's a 6. It is a very interesting experience. I recommend only playing this game if you are in a good mental space. If you are... I legitimately only play this game if you think you could play this and you think you'd be okay afterwards. Because I already am like trying to get in a better headspace, and this game, like it literally breaks you. It legitimately breaks you. And so it affected me how much it did when I'm literally getting so much better. I'm doing so much better mentally. And this game still got me to this point. If I played I'm so glad I didn't finish playing this game back when we were supposed to play it. Because a lot's happened recently that have got me in a better headspace. Boy, I've been in an even worse position.
Yeah, but we're behind.
No, we're fine. We can catch up. We can catch up.
Still behind.
No, we're fine. But it's yeah, the gameplay's not that good. Legitimately, the puzzle was the coolest thing of the game, but narrative, it was interesting. The whole gimmick of playing with the butterfly effect was cool, but it's not that good of a game to me. And even in general, I feel like I'm giving it a 6. I'm giving it a 6. It's not a 5. I'm giving it a 6. I do not think it's a 7. I do not think it's a 7 at all. The voice acting's good. The animation's okay. The cutscenes got like a glitched look.
Yeah, I don't know what has. Mine had that too, like going down like a lightning bolt across.
I was like, is that a art style? I was like, no, that's not supposed to be.
I don't know what mine. It didn't happen until you said something on your stream. After you said something that happened on your stream, it's like, then it happened on mine.
I don't know what's up, but yeah, it's a 6. It's a 6. I'll give it that. My personal rating, a 4. I'm not gonna go lower than that. I'm giving it a 4, but I refuse to give it a 5, and it's nothing but sad, and no matter what you do at the end, pretty much doesn't matter. Especially because it leaves it in the open based off what you choose. It leaves it in the open. The fact that in the ending, your decision doesn't matter. The story, the journey does, but in the end, it doesn't matter. And it's all in the air. You don't know. and that's just another reason of why I'm not going higher than a 6 of saying how good it is for like, you know, unbiased and biased. I won't go lower than a 4. So if y'all's recommendation, my score of the game itself, it's a 6. I myself, my personal opinion, it's a 4. I will not be playing this game again. Bye guys, I have work tomorrow. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.
All right. So the game itself, I'm gonna give my rating out. It's a 7 for me personal. It's an 8 for an overall. I've done a lot of stuff over my life, my 23 years, my very long life, and I've seen a lot of stuff. And this game is a good example on how to deal with some situations. He doesn't like it because of the negativity in it. That's why I like it. I've worked with kids for a long time, and everything that's happened in this game is I've seen. Not to the point of kids getting drugged and taken to murder rooms. I've not seen that. As far as I know, I haven't seen that. The awful just murders happening in town, and that's all because of that. But it hits those spots really well because it gets you feeling for everybody around you. This game has a prime example of nobody's an asshole. It's just a situation. Victoria. You hate Victoria at the beginning. Then you realize she's not bad. Wells. You hate Wells at the beginning. Then you go into the flashpoint. He's not bad. Nathan. Nathan's an asshole. But he has fair reason to be if you go through all this stuff. His dad doesn't like him. He wanted something out there. He wanted some positivity. And that's one reason I give it so good is the characters are done well. You hate a character, and you can love the character because you feel bad for him. Nathan, prime example. I hated Nathan. First time I played, I wanted nothing to do with him. Then that thing happens, and everything changes, at least for me. It became such a point of... Also, I played this about 5 years ago, so it's been a while since I've played it. So I've done a lot. I've done a lot of mentally growing since then. But him... as a prime example, the characters are done well. The story is so good because it relays and purveys the struggles that people in this world do actually have. He doesn't like it. He wants to escape. I think this is a good escape because it allows you to keep an eye on some things to keep people. Kate is depressed, suicidal. And I can tell you that because I've witnessed it, she's a lot closer to showcasing exactly how it is than you would actually think. She's almost on point. So I can now use this. Yes, I know it's stupid to use a game, but I can use this to know what to keep an eye out for. Because they have that. You have the crazy people, Nathan. You have the stuck-up people that are just insecure, Victoria. Every person is done in such a degree that you can learn from the experience, which was that well done too, along with the story, everything that goes on in there. Music, very well. Choice-based. Yeah, come the end, they don't matter. But they do matter. Danger told me earlier he was going to give it a low rating, and I told him right then and there he did not understand this game if the ending is why he did not give it a high rating. And this is my personal opinion, but the game is not meant to be happy. Right out of the gate, we even warn you. It's not meant to be happy. It's the way you purport your story. And as you go through it, the ending you make is your best ending. So, Chloe's dead. Arcadia Bay is dead. Whatever is your true answer in there is what you have built up towards. We built more relationship with Chloe, so she means a lot more to you. So that's why it's the best choice to take. And you built a relationship with everybody in town. That's why it's the best choice to take. I've played through this game a couple times. I think I'm at like 30-ish hours in this game. Like I've played through it 3 times now. And so I've gone buddy with Chloe, buddy with town, so it doesn't bother me much. But the first time playing through, it hits a lot harder if you do everything. Because you buddy up Kate, Daniel, Stella, Warren, Victoria, Alyssa, all of them, leading to...
That's what I did.
Yeah. So you had at least I'm assuming that's why. I'm just going to assume that's why you didn't like it, because you know, tough choice either way. 100% tough choice either way. And that's why I like how this game's done it, is you build up to this ultimate climactic ending of it, of who is better. Who do you care about more in the long run? And that's why it's legitimately one of my favorite, as bad as it actually is, it's one of my favorite endings to a game, because the entire thing leading to it. And I honestly say people need to play it, and should play it in their lifetime. It's that good of a game.
They should play it when they're in a good headspace.
No.
They
I
should
will not I will not agree to that.
They
because
need to be all right, let me rephrase. They need to be mentally strong. They need to be mentally stronger, because I could see this being bad for someone who already has a bad mental space.
I've seen it go the other way. I've witnessed it go the other way.
Okay, then take your word for it then.
And so it's one of those things of I've said, hey, play this game, and somebody I knew played this game who was very much depressed situation, like somebody specifically in that kind of situation, just much less open about it, is help them out, made them feel much more outgoing. They want to be able to affect the world in a much positive manner. And so that's what this does. A lot of people that have played this game with the depressive thoughts come out of it feeling that they can conquer the world, because they kind of have. They see this character who's exactly like them break out of her shell to do it, so they feel like, you know what, this is the situation, I can do it, and they start breaking out too. So that's why I will not always say then your mental state for this one. Silent Hill, short message. That one there, I'll 100% agree. We're going to talk about that one at a way later date. Fuck that game. That's just 100% sadness. This one here has some hope to it because of how you can perceive the character. And that's why I firmly believe that this game should be played by everybody. Good, bad, otherwise, it is an amazing... Why do I have two messages? It is an amazing game that realistically I think everybody should play once in their life. If only once, that's fine. But play it once in your life, because this thing is superb. So 8 by me for game. We'll get 8 for Games and Gamers, 7 for Hayden. But that is it for our episode. Danger is going to tell us what our next episode is.
I'm going to be honest with you, so I'm going to go ahead and just say it on the air because literally we already said the plan for this and it changed. On good terms, me and my girlfriend have broken up. Now, I think it's very funny that
I almost hit the horn. I was really debating hitting the sad horn.
Yeah, but it's very funny that I say, I have a girlfriend, we're doing a video, yay! And then the time she's about to appear, hey, so she's not showing up. Yeah, but no, so...
She was real. Maybe.
She was real.
I'll be honest, I've saw the interaction maybe twice. I'm gonna give the benefit of the doubt that she was real, question mark?
It'll backhand you.
And I'll backhand you right back.
So, but yeah, so currently, right now, trying to figure out what we're gonna do for February. I'll have something. Something will be done. If anything, I'll have a solo episode. Like, it'll be fine no matter what we do. Like, there'll be a solution. We'll be fine. And here's the thing. The fact that it's me, the fact that it's flexible, the fact that it's February and I have full creative things, I'm going to stick within the realm of the thing, but we'll be on schedule. Schedule will be in time. It'll be done. Because no matter what, I'll do something. You... need to, and here's the thing, March literally in my hands, I don't think Thanksgiving's on right now, but in my hands I bought my very first video game. I bought Final Fantasy 16. We have one of the 2 games and I plan on getting it, like, legitimately can either pre-order the next paycheck or the paycheck after that. I can pre-order it. Legitimately, I will have 2 chances to pre-order it, so all's good. And so we will literally have March good. He's saying, so, and Hayden even said that we're behind schedule. Are we? Yes. But February's fine. We're on schedule even though it's been delayed. February, I'll have 2 episodes out. I'll figure out something. Worst case scenario, I do a solo episode.
That means the Halo episode isn't going up this month.
Something will happen. Yeah, hold on to that for if it's a normal month and we're needing an episode filler. February, when it's me, I'll screw around. I'll do something fun. I'll make something interesting. March will be Final Fantasy, double Final Fantasies. I'm excited for that. I want to play this game, but I'm not going to do it tonight. I'm going to bed right after this. I'm going to eat first, then go to bed.
Now, play it.
No,
get a beat before work.
I literally got to go to work in less than 12 hours. No. I need 7 hours of sleep, buddy.
Yeah. Please.
I can't go to bed and wake up just like that. I can't do that.
I mean, I can't either. I go to bed at 8 o'clock and then I'm asleep at 9. Then I'm up at 3 to get to bed so I can start getting ready for work at 4 to be there at 5.
I go to bed way earlier than that if that's why I wake up. But, so that's good. And then April, pretty sure we know what we're doing for April, and then we know for the next few months. And one thing that's really sucked for my channel is it's been really slow. It's been really, really, really slow to almost non-existent, especially because I did Twitch and YouTube at the same time. Yeah, it's kind of died, but I've passed driving academy. I've passed my passed the driver's permit test. I'm literally getting a permit in less than a week. So I'm out of that. So that's a bunch of hours I'm getting back. I'm getting used to working, so I'm not as exhausted when I come home. I'm getting money, so I can start buying video games. My friend Mood, she's working on Mood Goring. She's working on a commission right now for both of us, and it looks amazing. It's just the sketch, and it looks awesome. Super excited for it. And I'm actually going to be able to. One thing I want to do for the longest time is be able to pay her for her work, and so now we'll be able to do that, which is super cool. So yeah, we're good. Games and Gamers is good, even though rough start for not only Games and Gamers but also my channel. It's gonna be more smooth going forward. So we just had the rough patch.
God, I hope so.
I'm now making money. The whole process was me to be able to start making money.
I know, that's not what I hope we get rid of the roughness. Because I gotta spend this next month getting everything set up. We'll be on Spotify a month from now.
Because, okay, without going into too much detail.
Danger! Quit giving me work!
Okay.
What is our next episode going to be? Games you want other person to play, or could you come up with a plan?
I don't know. I'll have it. There you go.
I'll
have it.
Let's talk about.
I'll have it.
The worst controllers.
Nope. There's a giant X. There's a giant red X with DangerXtreme on top of it. You can't see it. Nope. You'll know next time. I'm not giving you more work. Cut it. See you guys.
All right.
You all know when. But legitimately, it's because I had to think of how long it's been since we've interacted and the roughness of the relationship.
Okay. Thanks, everybody, for listening. I will see you all. You can tell me.
I'm explaining it. No, it's fine. Whatever.
It's fine. Personal issues. That's it. That's all you gotta say! Thanks, everybody, for listening. We will see you all in our next one. I don't know what's next, whatever Danger has next, or if not, I have something planned. We will see you all.
I have something.
God.
See ya. Bye.
Peace out, everybody.